Marcosian Draconimus, and interacting with several people in the fortress, including Nork, a half-orc aide, and Kuba Deldrain, known to most as Valethe the Bard. You encountered and were ambushed by a small goblin and bugbear war party. After defeating them, however, your group was able to notice a golden figure in the distance, and were able to obtain the 250 gold piece pouch the bugbear chief was carrying, the two seemingly connected. After awaking to the rancid stench of already rotting corpses, Gallus polymorphed into a horse carrying Dane on his back while Ruby and Gengar rode atop the gnome's resurrected boars, although their pace was perhaps not as quick as they'd like. Deciding to abandon the undead boars and hobgoblin, Gallus elected to polymorph into a woolly mammoth, a creature completely unindigenous to the temperate plains of Gamorreca. Although your initial mounting caused you a bit of trouble, you were able to ride on the woolly mammoth for a couple days, with Ruby taking a turn as well. Gengar was able to bring along a mountain goat skeleton, and Dane opted to brew a blueberry ale for the travels. Your journey has been almost entirely obstacle-free, with few travelers willing to converse with you, and your magic hut keeping you safe at night. You're now about 2.5 days travel from your nearest destination, Danderfield. So yeah, you guys are, the three of you are on Ruby's back. Ruby, you are currently a polymorph woolly mammoth, just trotting along the eastern road towards Danderfield.
Waiting for Lauren to say bark, bark.
On campaign, Justin.
Yeah.
I feel like for a while there, none of these campaigns had polymorph, and then in 1 week, all 3 of our campaigns had polymorph. Right? It was very weird.
Yeah.
It's all Lauren.
And then we had Stacy use it in our other campaign as well,
really?
which we had never done previously. So yeah, it was very weird. So you guys are just riding on Ruby's back. If you guys want to go ahead and just one of you roll perception check with advantage, or 2 of you roll separately, just to see if you guys see anything while you guys are traveling along your journey.
I can do it if you want.
Well, you're the woolly mammoth, so you can't.
Oh, true.
We were smart and put the best perception on the mammoth.
Yes.
Yep.
I got +4. I mean, I'm not terrible at it.
Some beer.
I am not perceptive at all, so rock and roll for yourself.
Boom. That's not too shabby. Oh, yeah,
All
we're
right,
good.
yeah. So you guys actually, I'll say that right now we're at about the halfway point through the day. The sun is directly up in the sky. So right now you guys are at about the, you guys, I think, got up kind of early. Well, I guess you guys did travel quite a bit that first day, latest day. So you guys, I think, started off a little bit later. So you guys are probably at about the R on Sargonus there on the map. And what you see while you're traveling on your straight east path towards Danderfield, you see a rare, lone, ancient oak tree on the south edge of the road amidst the endless field of swaying brown grasses. Its trunk is wider than all of you could link your arms around, and the closest branches to the trunk barely seem to move in the wind. They are so thick. Its colossal shadow is a welcome respite from the day's unending sun, and the sound of the northeasterly wind blowing through its leaves is calming to you. Beneath the immense canopy, however, at the trunk's base, you see what looks like an old man, white in hair with deep green clothing resting, his back against a thick wood column. So are you guys doing anything when you see this old man? The tree is essentially right next to the road. So it's very hard to miss. But you do notice atop your woolly perch a man below. It seems like an old man just kind of resting for the day against the trunk. Do you guys do anything, or do you guys just want to get closer and see what happens?
What do
Any
you
of you guys,
see out there?
any of you guys see that guy right there? Under that tree?
Oh yeah, I do see him.
He's quite old. Maybe that's why he's taking a rest under it.
Do you think?
He does. I say he doesn't look dangerous. I mean, I feel like we can just go up to him, talk to him.
Do you think
And-
he's on death's door?
Do you wanna make a medicine check to see if he's on death's door?
From up on top of the mammoth back?
Yes, I mean you guys are like maybe 75, 100 feet away, so you're not quite close to him. You do see him, obviously. You see he kind of blends in. It's shadowed. He's wearing green, so it's a bit difficult to see. But with you guys' perception, you do see him. So you can take a look if you want to wait until you get closer. You can take a look then.
If you're allowing me to do a medicine roll right now, I'll do it.
Go for it. He does not look like he's on death's door. He's just relaxing. It's hard to see what his face is doing from this distance and in the shadow, but it just looks like maybe he's taking a nap.
For real, look at that tree, though.
It's a very large tree. It's a huge oak, ancient, easily a couple 100 years old. And it does stand out. I mean, you have seen pockets of trees kind of off the road in spots along the journey, but this one stands out quite a bit more because it's right next to the road, and it is quite a fair bit larger than the others you've seen.
Question: how many hours in the day are we?
I'd say the sun's directly above. It's about noon or so. It's midday.
How many hours have we been traveling? I'm trying to track.
That's a
how many
wonderful
spell
question,
slots.
Robert. I would say you guys got kind of a late start, so I'd say probably 3 hours.
Okay, so I still have some spell slots then.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And I would say as you guys are coming up, it's nearing the very end of your third. It's not quite there yet, but you got about 5-10 minutes more left in your polymorph spell.
We could take a break under the tree if we wanted. My spell's about to end anyways.
Well, that's fine
Yeah.
with me.
So you guys
That'd
just
be
keep on walking, just approaching on the woolly mammoth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So as you approach, you see, as you get closer, you see many hints and trimmings of gold throughout his clothing, and an ornate gold necklace with a heavy-looking gold pendant in the shape of a multicolored fire outlined in gold trim. And you can see now, as you get closer, his eyes are a ghostly white when he opens them as you approach. And then out of nowhere, you hear him say, "Ahoy, travelers! That is quite a beast you are riding."
She's great for travel, especially with groups as large as ours. How are you, sir?
I am doing quite fine. I am enjoying this wonderful, pleasant, cool shadow underneath the hot sun above.
You couldn't have found a better tree. This thing is enormous.
I do come here quite often.
Oh,
It is
local.
it's a nice resting spot on the road. I am eager to hear of the travels of the passers-by from Danderfield to Hell Hall and from Hell Hall to Danderfield.
You haven't seen too many groups on the way to Danderfield, have you?
I have not seen anything, friend. And you can kind of glean. The reason his eyes are ghostly white is that he is blind.
That's the blind dude. What he saw. Good. Good. Ooh, shite.
Do not be worried, friend. It is easy to miss, and I do not. Your comment does not offend me. I am what I am. Perhaps you would like to come down from your woolly perch and sit with me and tell me your story. Why are you traveling to Danderfield and eastward?
We are looking for horses and carts. We have a long journey ahead, heading northwards, and while traveling on Mammoth is great, kind of it's not very stealthy, right? And I'm gonna guess that my spell's gonna end soon, so we probably want to get off soon anyway.
It's getting pretty close. Yeah, you're not exactly sure when, but you know it's going to be pretty close.
Guys, we should get off. I don't want to fall.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all for taking a break right now.
Yeah.
All right,
Sitting
come
under
on,
shade.
Philip. Let's go down.
Talk to our new friend.
New friend. You could just hear the footsteps of the giant mammoth. It's quite perceptive.
It was not very difficult to perceive. I heard you guys coming from a long ways away. A perk of having no eyesight is improved senses.
My name is Gallus Belstead, and like I said, we're hoping there wasn't any horses or carts in Hellhall, and so we're hoping to get some in Danderfield.
A noble quest. You mentioned that you are traveling to the north. May I ask why from Hellhall you are traveling north?
How much info are we giving away, guys?
I wouldn't say too much. I would say we're
Um,
just on a quest to find an artifact. Maybe even that's too much. Maybe we're just on a quest to go see our cousin or something.
Yeah, there's some information, but we are heading quite north to Braille, and hopefully get some information on maybe go to a library and see what happened years and years ago. And it's quite a distance.
As you can see, I am an old man. Perhaps I can help you with what it is you seek. I have traveled this land many times throughout my years, and I have met many people and encountered many, many strange things.
I'm gonna look around to everyone else and try to make signs like, do we trust him? Like, I'm gonna try to like
Can we make an insight check on him?
Absolutely.
he's blind. I'm gonna try to use that. Oh my god! Nice.
Nice.
So what are you trying to do? What are you trying to glean exactly?
If he's being, I guess, truthful. Does he sound like he actually intends to help us?
He does seem like he is very certainly being truthful in the fact that he has been around, that he has talked, he has seen many people, he has seen many strange things. You do get the idea though that he is a bit kind of probing for you.
Yeah, so he's kind of being a little nosy then, in a way.
I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go like this.
And be like, don't tell him. No.
Okay. I'm gonna take half a second to think here and be like, well, what can you tell us about Braille before it was its current times? Because I have in my notes that there's a lot. I had in my notes something important here. Because there's a certain civilization, right? The elders, right? The elder civilization.
Yes. So he's going to say, "Worry not about me, friends. I only ask because, as you can see, I am blind. I live in these parts, and very little information travels to me. This is how I get my information about what is going on in the world in my old age." So you get the idea that even though you guys were like making your hand gestures, he still picked up on it.
He's blind? What?
He's a perceptive fella. Braille, yes. The lands of the Northeast have been through many hands. Most recently, before it was known as Braille, it was known to people from early in my time as Udalangst, and it encompassed much of the north. What you know now as Dryden was once a city of Udalangst. Zenithal was part of Udalangst. It is a storied land, and there is much to learn from that area.
It's It's actually quite important. Let's. I don't have a way to write that down, but I'm going to try to commit that to memory. We is there anywhere that you would know where we could look up some of like a library about ancient texts or any treasure from old times? I'm always looking to as an adventurer get some treasure. Does help pay the bills, as my bagpipes doesn't always work.
Bagpipes.
Aye, have you heard of me?
I am afraid I have not heard of you, Gallus, or these bagpipes you speak of.
I'm just starting off. Please don't tell me you've heard of Veneth.
The name does not ring a bell.
God. That guy's a dick. Thank God.
You ask about ancient texts from the northern lands. Perhaps you are curious about info of the Anduin.
That this is news to me. Sure, yes. I'm trying to play off like I'm dumb.
Do you want to roll a deception?
Sure, I can do that. I don't want him to get that we're going for something.
Very nice.
That's a good roll.
Wow.
Oh, damn, you're good at deception.
Yeah, I kind of put a lot of points into that.
Okay. Well, perhaps some of you know, and he kind of looks at all four of you. He can identify that there's four of you there, but he can't tell probably too much more beyond your guys' presence. And at this point, Ruby, you will have unpolymorphed.
Okay.
So thankfully, he is unable to see the grotesque process of you going from a 15-foot tall woolly mammoth into your small 3.5-foot tall body. But that happens. And he notes to you guys, yes, well, many travelers perhaps may not know about the Anduin. The info about their empire has been lost to time, but I have been in the area. I have seen the remains of that once great empire. They once resided in the north, in the cliffs. Before that, however, they resided in Ander Major. So if anyone who wants to, you can roll a history check if you recognize that name. Logan or Gengar, I'll give you that with advantage.
Ooh, thanks for the advantage.
That's all you guys. I don't.
So you do recognize the name Ander Major. The reason most people don't remember that name, and he'll just say this and he'll be like, perhaps nowadays, since you came from Braille, you will have passed Ander Major on your journey in, I expect. Although you would not recognize it, as it is now beneath a crater known as Anders Bane. And so that's the Anders Bane you can see on your map next to the Sea of Blood. Although history is perhaps not very clear on what happened to Ander Major, it was obliterated many, many generations ago by something. The legends say many things collided with that great empire city, its capital, and its last great stronghold. Some say that it was a dragon that collided with the city as it exited one of the astral planes of the elements. Others say that it was simply dumb luck, that a rock from the sky hit it, and it exploded, and it spelled the end of the great empire that spanned the entire north. Whatever the reason is, long ago, some tried to rebirth the city on the spot where it once lay, mining the elements and the minerals that were revealed upon impact from the crater. This was known as Ander Menorah. Its remnants can still be seen at the bottom of the crater as well, but it is still a ghost town in these days. Thus,
it was a big mining establishment, and now it's not.
So it was basically, at its peak, it was essentially the biggest city on Leithna at the time of its peak. It was the capital of the Anduin Empire, which you would know spanned basically the entire northern part of this continent. And so once it got destroyed, that was essentially the end of the Anduin Empire. The Anduin Empire. It lost everything, all of its leaders, most of its people, and then people, whoever, maybe it was remnants of the empire or just scavengers, came into the crater to mine it because it revealed elements and stuff that wasn't there before. And once that ran out, the town served its purpose, and people moved on. After Anduin Majora, however, there was still one settlement to the north, hidden deep in the cliffs, the white chalk cliffs that face the northern seas. The gnomes lay there now, hiding in the halls, the large, grand halls of that once great empire, no longer to be on this earth.
That's so good information.
I do not know if that will help you, but that is what I know of the northern empires and the northern lands.
They should totally write a song about that.
I'm gonna shoot Robert's character a look.
I think I might have a beat for it.
If you don't mind, however, I've shared with you a story. Perhaps you would share with me a story. In my old age, little else excites me.
We're probably gonna take a break here for a little bit, right? I mean, might as well tell them a story, right?
Yeah, what story do you want to tell them? There's just, so many stories. To be honest, we just barely met each other. Kind of convenience of travel.
Ah, that's very interesting. So you are going north, you four strangers, together on a travel, for reasons you have not yet divulged. Again, I ask merely out of curiosity.
I don't like this guy. I feel like he's being too nosy for my liking.
You did tell us a bunch of good information.
Yeah, but it wasn't about him. It was about ancient history.
Yeah, which is good. This is what we're looking for, man. The sword might be in there.
Personally, I don't see the harm in telling him what we're doing to an extent.
Ooh, I have a story for you, and I will describe the battle where we killed all those goblins and such, and then and those hobgoblins.
You are quite formidable.
Story, right?
Yeah, kind of could be.
Yeah.
Doesn't give anything away. Yeah, I'll describe how at first we were getting wrecked, and we just kept getting shot at. But then we kind of scared them, and they started to all of a sudden. What's his name? Gengar just turned the tide with some fancy magic I don't understand. I'll phrase it that way.
So Gallus, go ahead and roll me an inception check, an insight check.
An insight check, no problem. Oh, this is a +1. Yep, that's about right.
Okay, you can tell from his face, even with that it's not quite what he's looking for. He's not particularly impressed. You get the idea that, based off the fact that you believe that he is telling the truth about where he's been, this is extremely small potatoes compared to the stuff that he's encountered in his lifetime. You are quite a formidable group of travelers. You were set upon by goblins and hobgoblins and bugbears. For what reason? Greed?
We found a pouch of money. It is odd that we were attacked. It's not like maybe it's because of my good looks or my great skills, or maybe my rival. I'll tell him about my rival, how he's a dick and takes all my jobs at the club, just doesn't like me. But we would love to catch up to that guy and investigate or ask him a couple questions or four.
I know little of your quote-unquote rival, Gallus. But as you tell me these things, I am reminded of word that came to me recently. And perhaps it jives with the fact that you were leaving Hellhall at a time when I have heard of a great hunt.
Oh, jig is up, guys.
Yeah,
Who'd you hear that from?
Word reaches me occasionally, I had heard, directly under this very tree, as I often am during the day, of this hunt from a few travelers who had made their way west towards Hellhall. Many had left several days recently in a steady stream. Perhaps they were refused. But recently I've, across my travels, have heard groups of 4 as they speed eastward towards Tathamir and Vermoreth. I am only making an uneducated guess about you travelers, but perhaps what you seek is the Eldersword. It is interesting, though, that you ask about the North in terms of the Eldersword.
Why is that?
Well, I must say I have never heard of this Elder Sword, but I am very much aware of the Elder civilization that it is supposedly named after. And the Elders were not fond of the northern reaches of this continent when they were around.
Oh, that's good info.
Where were they fond of?
Well, they were a war-loving race. They found great pleasure on the sands and the beaches and the deserts of Nalasi Galam and the pleasant plains of Tathamir to grow their crops. Little is left of their civilization now, but perhaps if you dig deep enough and you find yourselves in the deep reaches of this continent, you may find remnants of that once peak civilization.
Okay, I feel like I have to do an insight check here because this might derail us going to the south. I feel like. I want to see if he's telling the truth about that.
To be fair, if you were going to have a sword, and maybe they went to war against a nation in the north, and it got buried, and that's why no one's been able to find it.
You know, I want to do an insight check because honestly, one of the other people could have told this guy to lie to us or something and send us in the wrong direction. So I'm gonna do an insight check here. See if this guy's telling the truth.
Veneth totally would do that to us.
He appears to be telling the absolute truth to you guys. Nothing about him seems like he is lying. It seems like genuine information that he has regarding the Elder civilization.
Okay, so can I ask him, have the Elders been ever known to travel to the north up into Braille and Fair Morith?
Of that I do not know, but I do not doubt it. They were a greedy civilization, and perhaps their reach did not extend as far as they might have liked. There is much to gain from the northern lands. There is much to see. There are things there that are of great power and of great importance and of great age that perhaps a civilization such as theirs, keen on learning more, might have explored.
Now, to get the timeline right, so the Elders, were they around at the same time as the Angst and the Anders?
That is a great question. The Udalangst were very much more recent. They do not factor into the Elder or the Anduin stories at all. The Elders were essentially the very first great civilization on this continent. There were more before them. They were not quite on the scale, perhaps, as the Elders were. And there was small crossover between the Elders and the Anduin, but there is little to explain, perhaps, why the Elders disappeared and the Anduin took power over this continent. The Anduin disappeared long after that, and there were many realms that came and go in between the Anduin and where we are today.
Alright, so the Anduin started coming into power right at the end of the Elders. That's super interesting.
So I guess to help you explain it, I guess to give you kind of our historical counterpart, the Elders are essentially the Greeks. The Anduin are the Romans who came after and kind of shared a lot of the same land and a lot of the same ideas. From what you can tell, I mean, you don't really know too much about their culture, but you do know that they kind of shared a lot of the land and they had a bit of crossover. And then after the Anduin, it was kind of what you would call like the Middle Ages, like the Dark Ages, where there's a lot going on, but nothing really stands out in terms of gaining any sort of intellect or cultural progression on the continent.
Be right back, guys.
Gotcha. Oh, pizza time! Alright, so this is super interesting, guys. We were sent to the north. We got a whole history lesson here in the north. The crater thing's super cool. What are we thinking? Well, we have to stick on while Logan's getting pizza.
I feel like we gotta continue going to the north because that library might have a lot of information. In Zenithia.
We were also assigned to going north.
Yeah.
What's his name has a really good feeling. My half-orc brother.
Nork.
Nork.
Nork the orc.
Half-orc.
Oh, that doesn't go as well.
No, it doesn't. Half Nork the half-orc. That's hard to say. Half Nork the half-orc.
What are we thinking? I mean,
I still think we should go to Zenithia personally.
Still good. We want to see if there's any influence of like Elder. Maybe you know what might be interesting is I wonder if the Anduins collected Elder stuff, right? Do you think they would have gone in and tried to like collect maybe like the whoever ruled the Anduins wanted like the Eldersword as part of his collection as old, history, right? That could be a thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
Which would explain why it wasn't found with like the Elder Helm and was there a ring? No.
Yes, there was a ring and a helm, and then the third and final piece is supposedly the sword.
Right? That's the only logic I can give for the Elder Sword to be north at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the Anduins wouldn't have heard of the Elders, right? Like, they definitely would have heard of them.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to dominate the conversation with the blind dude, by the way. If you guys want to ask him questions, go ahead.
Well, since I'm from the Cliffs of Anduin, have I personally ever heard of the Elders, really? And I'm from the area of Braille.
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh, I'm so great at those.
Get it?
Oh, I'm so terrible at these.
Yeah.
Oh, not too bad.
That's such a good roll for a -1.
You haven't heard of the Elders, but you get, and I will give you this based off past history rules that Gengar rolled. Very, very few people on this continent probably know about the Elders. They are very, very old. Probably thousands upon thousands of years old. So a lot of time has passed, and in that, based on how they seemingly ended. A lot of knowledge just seems to have disappeared. The Anduin, even the Anduin themselves, outside of, say, Fair Morth or Braille, most people aren't maybe even going to know about them. Because, again, they are quite old. And if you were to ask a farmer about the Roman Empire in the Middle Ages, they wouldn't have an inkling of what the heck you're talking about. So you and I would say probably Gengar, and probably a lot less so Gallus, although maybe with his travels he might have heard. But even the Anduin themselves, there's not a lot of knowledge you might find on them, let alone the elders.
It's a word I've heard of. I had no idea what it meant. Yeah, sorry, Logan. So I was just theory crafting what's going on, since the elders seem to be southern folk and we're going northern.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking about what our plans are still going to be.
Yeah, I think this kind of changes a lot. I mean, why did we choose to go to Braille?
No, we
No.
were assigned to go there.
We
Because
were
each group
assigned-
was like assigned to go somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So we didn't really have a choice.
You basically, Nork told you that there were 10 teams that were chosen, or 8 teams that were chosen, 2 of them were going to each of the 4 realms. And he had sent you guys to Braille because you were most familiar with the location. And he also just had a pretty good feel about sending you guys that way.
So the only thing I could think of, Logan, is that the Anduin might have, maybe they collected old elder artifacts, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
possible.
That was my best guess, or why the Elder Sword would have traveled this far north, and it would also explain why that dude wasn't able to find it, because he was able to get the other 2 elder stuff. One was in like the bottom of a lake, and the other one was way south.
Yeah, they could have come up in conquest and left it there, or maybe the Anduin.
Anduin, yes.
If then maybe the Anduin grabbed it at one point and sent it back to like Zenitha and put it on display or something.
That was like my best guess at why it would make it this far north. It's not like there's no evidence to back that up. Like there's no,
Right.
I have no proof.
Well, yeah.
This dude is super knowledgeable though. Like holy shit! Like he's one of like the few people in the world who knows about this stuff. So, do you guys have any questions? Because like I'm tapped out in what I'm thinking to ask him.
Did he say if he knew what the Elder Sword was or no?
He said that he doesn't recognize that term.
Okay.
Oh, what if it's not a sword, guys?
The Elder
Maybe.
Nunchucks.
The Elder Shield.
God damn it! You guys were supposed to figure that out yet.
Is there like a translation? Did like sword mean like? Is there a different word for sword in Elder?
Are you asking him this?
I'm just theory crafting here.
Okay.
I shouldn't have not have used my Gallus voice.
That's possible. Gengar is going to ask him a question.
Okay.
So, you're a smart man, and it's apparent you have you've knowledge on things that are not very ordinary for common folk in Gamorreca. What is it that you do? Do you just stay here at this tree? What's your living? What do you do as a job?
I don't do much anymore. Like I said, little excites me beyond stories in my old age, hearing stuff that I've never heard before.
Well, what have you done in your youth? Were you always blind?
I was not always blind, no. I fought many battles for many different realms, and in many different realms. I fought many different men, I fought many different elves. I fought great beings, I fought giants. And with some of my greatest friends, we had fought dragons.
So you're a warrior then?
Was a warrior, yes. Long ago. Now, not so much. He has a little grin on his face with that, but for obvious reasons.
Does this guy look like he's a magic user?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Ooh, the rolls.
Okay. No, he just looked. He doesn't look like he uses magic at all. From what you can tell, he just seems like a very old dude. I will say that with that 19, you do get the sense that he's a bit odd. There is clearly something weird about him. He's saying things about these things. Give me a history check, really quick. Well, I'll give you with your 15. You would know the dragons have not been seen in Leithna for generations, a very long time.
So this guy is ancient, or he's lying.
You can do another insight check if you'd like to check him.
Nah.
You said you fought dragons.
Indeed.
Where the bloody hell have you found dragons?
They roamed much of this continent in years past.
Yeah.
All but the very few oldest ones are left.
How
And
old
so
are
you
you,
fought-
dog?
And so you fought those
Dog?
types of dragons. You fought the oldest of the old dragons.
Well, they were not the oldest when I had fought them, but now, yes, there are very few remaining on Leithna. The time of the dragons, it seems, to pass.
This is a human, right?
Yes, he's just a blind human man, got white hair.
Do dragons age like humans, or like they hit their prime, then they kind of tail off, and then when they get old, they kind of just get a little bit weaker and not as. Not to insult you, you move around great, but like my old man, he is not like he was when he was in his prime. Are they like that?
I don't think so. I think dragons, if left alone, they could be immortal.
I do not know the answer to that question, the immortality thing. But I do know that dragons will age quite a long time. Most of them through adventurers like yourselves, perhaps will end the lives of dragons who seek to live longer than perhaps they are allowed to. But they will live thousands of years if let be.
That's
What color was your dragon?
The one that I killed.
Yeah.
oh shit.
Well, I have killed several. There were blue dragons, and mainly blue dragons were the ones that I had fought deep in the south in Nalasi Kalam, before it was called Nalasi Kalam. And there was a black dragon.
Oh. Remind me what terrain they prefer again.
Blue dragons?
No, black dragons.
Black dragons. Hold on, let me check.
Because that checks out what you said about the blue dragons. They do indeed enjoy the deserts and the sands.
The black dragons often found themselves in swamps and in the relics of ancient civilizations. Granted, when the dragons were at their peak, there were no ancient civilizations to make their lairs in. But the black dragons did not find the climate of Leithna particularly to their style, I believe, and there were many of them in these lands.
So it was an outlier dragon. That's really
Perhaps.
interesting.
It had found its way here, and I had killed it.
I'm gonna take like a couple steps back and be like, holy shit. Don't think I've met anyone as interesting as you in a very long time.
I'd be curious to see who you have met who is nearly as interesting as me.
I can't think of anyone.
Is Ruby still a mammoth?
No, she
No.
came down to her halfling form.
We should get this guy's name so we can talk to him. We got to become familiar with him so we can send him messages.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. I got sending.
Yeah, so do I. So, like I said, my name is Gallus. Do you have a name? I would just love to know.
I have been called many names throughout my lifetime, but the one I go by now is Feel. You may call me Feel.
How do you spell that, good sir?
Fiil. Feel.
Oh, old ass blind dude. I'm putting it in my notes.
And if I may inquire of the other three of your traveling party's names, one of you seems... No. All of you seem much smaller than your inquiring companion here.
That's because I just choose to be small right now. I could be big if I wanted to.
Is that so?
Yes. But for now, yes, I'm small. I'm Cragabo. Oh, that's my last name.
Cragabo.
I'm
Gengar Cragabo.
Yeah, right. I'm Gengar.
Gengar. He kind of thinks for a little bit. That sounds gnomish to me.
Correct.
I have not had the pleasure to meet and to know many gnomish folk, so well met, Gengar.
And well met to you too, sir.
My name is Dane.
Dane. And do you have a last name, Dane?
I do. Why are you interested in my last name? No one else's.
So far, the other two have given me their last names, and I am simply curious. You must understand that at this point in my life, curiosity is all I have, as I've said.
I'm afraid I don't feel comfortable giving up my last name right now.
As you wish. I imagine there is a great reason for that. And you, smallest one, and he kind of looks in your general direction, Ruby.
My name is Ruby Goodbarrel, sir. Nice to meet you.
That is a very telling name, halfling.
Yep, that's me.
You are far from the grassy knolls. Not many of your kind have made their way to this tree that I inhabit often.
No, I'm one of the few. Venturing out, trying to see the world.
Well, there is a lot to see, and I hope that you are able to see all that you would like to see in it. As I said to your gnomish friend here, well met.
You too, sir.
Ruby, we know his name now. You can say call him by his name.
You too, Phil.
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 You may call me whatever you like.
That's my goat's name, not.
Your goat's name is Phil.
Yes,
I did not sense his presence here.
Come here, Philip. Say hello to the old man.
And he does pick up on the clanking of the bones, the slight clanking of the bones as it comes walking towards him. And he'll just look at the mountain and go, be like, well met, Philip. If I may inquire of you folk again, you are headed north, yet you inquire deeply about the elders. May I ask why you are heading north?
It was kind of assigned.
Yes, we were assigned the area. We don't
That was
want to go there. We just came from there. I don't want to go back.
I don't mind the north. It's not that bad.
It's just all the traveling.
You are from Braille, at least two of you, from my understanding. Perhaps the people who have sent you this way know more than I do.
I doubt that.
I don't. There are people on this earth far more ancient than I am who perhaps know more. Marcosian is someone that I am sometimes very wary of, but perhaps it is as he says, and he doesn't know what he is talking about. This world is very often quite strange. The elders even more so. Perhaps if I can gauge your intentions, you intend to find knowledge and information about the elders beyond what I was able to give to you today. You are headed to Zenitha, am I correct?
You're pretty good at this, yeah.
I've been at it a long time.
The Eldersword is the commission, and the area we were assigned to was the north. So our first quest was to get travel that wasn't a woolly mammoth, and then we are hoping to get north and maybe figure out where any elder artifacts might be. But from talking to you, it doesn't seem that the elder has really even penetrated the north at all. So, the Miller Lite is killing me right now with the burps. Oof. I'm glad no one's here. So I don't know if the Anduins made collections of elder material or not, but I'm not quite sure what we're going to find.
It is not impossible for that to be the case, and I do not doubt that it is perhaps a situation that may be correct in time. I'm afraid I am not able to give you any sort of information on that topic. I wish that I could help you more.
You have given us more information than I could even have imagined on my own, so thank you very much.
I will tell you, I hope that I have not dissuaded you or convinced you that perhaps you are on the wrong path. There is much to glean from the libraries of Zenitha. I have been there before and I have learned much. And there are very few places on this earth, this continent of ours, where perhaps you will find information regarding such a civilization, and I do believe Zenitha is that place. One of those places.
It does have a very good library, I will give it that.
Yeah, I was gonna leave that to you. Well, we do have probably another couple days travel to Danderfield.
It is quite an uninteresting journey from all accounts, from what I've heard. But I hope the gods are able to give you swift passage on your way.
Oh yeah, good. Oh, I'll give Dane a look like, ooh, come on, what's your god gonna do?
My god's watching us. Don't worry. He'll make sure we get there.
If you don't mind me asking, who is it that you follow?
This guy's so nosy, man. I do mind him asking, so I'm gonna say, I'm trying to think of a way to say it, not being mean about it. I'd like to keep to my own the gods that I follow. Thank you very much.
What, you literally a priest for this god? And now someone actually asks you about it and you don't want to talk?
I don't trust this guy, okay?
What? He's a blind old man. He's given us lots of good information. and he's been telling the truth about basically everything.
I don't know, man. He wanted to know my last name. It was weird. He didn't ask anyone else's last name. He got to me. He's like, "Yo, what's your last
about
name?"
your god. You know you want to. You know you want to.
Usually I would. Usually I would. Gengar, but not right now. I'm not liking this guy.
He's saying this. He's right in front of you.
I would
I'll say
tell
it.
him, but I don't even know your god. I just kind of tune out anytime you try to communicate.
Perhaps if I told you about the god that I follow, you would be willing to share the god that you follow.
Sure. Let's hear it.
Perhaps you can notice the pendant that I'm wearing that I described earlier. That was the multicolored flame kind of pendant that's wrapped in gold trim. Anyone who would be inclined to know things about the gods, go ahead and roll a religion check if you just want to have known this already. So I don't know how many of you are...
Oh my god.
Gengar's got it.
Yeah.
Well, you can still roll 2 if you want to, Dane, because...
Sure, I'll embarrass myself.
In your religion, okay. The symbols of the gods are not hidden knowledge. Most people, if they're inclined towards religion, probably know all 21 of them. This is the symbol of Sirion. And you might not know exactly what his domain is, Dane. But Gengar, you would know that he is the god of fire and change.
Hmm.
The god of change.
That's a lawful. No, that's a.
That's one of the neutral gods.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Well, as you can see from my pendant here, I worship Sirion, and I have for every year that I think I've been alive. He has spoken to me many times. I embrace his advice when he provides it to me. And it has helped me throughout my many years of battle and travel and exploration to defeat those who would follow the ways of the gods of evil. And you see, you'll see him actually when he says that. He makes a glance behind you guys and to the north, towards the northwest.
Is he looking at something?
That would be...
Go ahead and make a perception check
Here.
to see what he's looking at. Northwest, I said.
Oh, oops.
He's looking directly at the volcano, the Eye of Sargonis, which I will give in your religion check, Gengar, you know as the... Why did I just close that? He is the god of vengeance and fire, one of the evil gods. But you would know, Dane, that he is one of the 7 evil gods.
Hmm. So his god is directly opposed to the volcano one.
Perhaps they do share the fire aspect, and for the most part, the good gods and the neutral gods, they often kind of get along. They have fought perhaps in history, but for the most part, the 7 evil gods are universally despised.
Mm-hmm. Is there a
Just kinda
god in
wants to
that
know my personal
volcano?
information.
He shared his, buddy.
What did you say, Gengar?
Is there a god in that volcano? Is that why you're looking at it?
No, there isn't. As far as I know, there is not a god in that volcano. What do you know of the Eye of Sargonis? So you guys can roll a history check about... I guess... Yeah, roll me a history check, what you guys would know. You guys would know little. Apparently not. Whoever would be inclined to have studied history, you guys can roll. If it's just Gengar, it's just Gengar.
I did not study anything.
I think I would have
Not big.
studied. Oh, I don't have any history. Never mind.
Yeah, I'd say if you're proficient in anything, you can go ahead and give me a roll. Which I think is just Gengar.
That's why we keep them around.
Yeah. So, with that 19, Gengar, you do recall stories of perhaps ones that you might have read, myths and legends involving the Eye of Sargonus, and there are several. Certain people kind of refer to certain other things, maybe like based on where they grew up or who raised them. There are different beliefs about what happened. And growing up in Braille, you might also have a particular story that was kind of closer to you and your family. And one of the main ones is that it involved 4 of the gods. So perhaps when you had read that Shizlev, the goddess of nature, she was resting in Braille in the now named Jintil Lake. Kiri Jolith, the god of... Fuck, what's this guy? I gotta stop closing this. I keep referring to all these goddamn gods. Kiri Jolith, the god of honor and war, was kind of angling for her attention. And kind of wanted to impress her. So he was fighting with Sargonus and Hidukel, the god of lies and greed. And they rushed him coming down from coming southwest from the north. So they were kind of coming from Dogor's Point, and Kiri Jolith stationed himself at that last mountain right before Shizlev, the lake, Jintil Lake. And he repelled both of the attacks simultaneously from Sargonus and Hidukel. And the legend says that he sent Hidukel north, which is why the mountains kind of track that way over the lake. And he repelled Sargonus to the south with all the might that he could muster. And it sent him straight all the way through the entire continent, tracking the mountains, essentially being pulled up as he was trying to grab the earth to stop him. And he's where he lay at the very end of that was the spot of the eye, which essentially became a physical incarnation of his vengeance and anger as he left the plane, the material plane, back to his home plane. That's the story that you would know. So you would already know this, and Phil will kind of say to you guys, a long time ago, around the time of the elders in the era of the dragons, there was an event called the Sundering. Very few know about this since it is such an old knowledge, but you guys would actually kind of recognize that the time you track your years kind of based off it's post Sundering or after the Sundering. That's how years are tracked in Leithna, and at this point, you guys are probably in the 3,000s. It's hard to gauge whether or not that is accurate. If that's the genuine, it is actually, say, 3,873 years since the Sundering. It is impossible to verify that is indeed the point in history that you guys are at right now. But you probably wouldn't even recognize that that's what the Sundering is. You wouldn't. It's just kind of referred to as ATS after the Sundering. No one remembers what the Sundering is. Who says that? It's just a given passed down passage of time and tracking of time. The Sundering was an event on Leithna previously, before the Sundering, the gods and the elves and the men and the dwarves all lived together in the material plane, and the universe knew no different. But something happened when Takesis, the queen of the evil gods, had tried to attain power beyond her reaches. In her vanity, she irreparably changed the face of the planet, and where all the gods stood on the material plane, they were transported to the newly created planes in the heavens, the 7 hells for the evil gods, and the 7 peaks of the Mount of Prismaria for the good gods. And where they were when they evaporated from this plane, they have left what we call plane bonds. I believe the Eye of Sargonus to be one such plane bond. That Sargonus was at that location when he was transported from this plane to another, and his vengeance formed the volcano, the giant volcano that you see now.
I see. So he's not actually literally there, but that is where he has been.
And it is believed that these plane bonds, some believe them to be portals to these other planes. Some believe them to merely be touched closely by these other planes, where they resemble those planes more closely. So the volcano of the Eye of Sargonus represents his location on the 7 hells. It is hard to verify any of this is fact, but this is what I have been told, and this is what I have learned through my travels. I do not know that it aids you, but it is perhaps an interesting story that you will now carry along with you.
It is. It's a very interesting story.
Definitely should be a song about it.
Gosh.
You are very fond of songs, half-orc.
Aye.
I'm gonna take my hand axe to your bagpipes.
Don't do that.
Strife in the party.
Matt, is there like natural earth science in this world, or is there like geology, or is it basically we adhere to the stories and myths?
Mainly the stories and myths. There are probably some people who don't ascribe to them and believe that there is something more to the layout of this world. But for the most part, I mean, even though the myths and the legends are kind of perhaps they disagree with one another, they often overlap enough where throughout time it seems like this has just been kind of passed down as pretty honestly what happened.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't know that, though. The plane bonding of these, because again, very few people know what the Sundering is.
Right.
Well, if you ever need to contact us, in case, like, I don't know, you want a friend somewhere in the north, or you're lonely and want to talk, go ahead and let us know. I'm Gallus Bellstead, don't forget. You'll hear about me one day. I'm working on it.
I don't doubt it.
Well, let's not say goodbye yet. You told us about your god, and now Dane has to tell you about his god.
Oh yeah,
I'm not letting you off that easy, Dane. He's been very nice to us and very helpful.
I'm gonna stare daggers at you. I was hoping he would forget.
Well, I didn't, so...
I do not forget much, dwarf.
And now he knows I'm a dwarf, too.
Oh, he already knew that. Come on.
No, he just knew I was a small folk.
Your name is Dane.
You're not that small. Dwarves aren't that small.
Well, if Phil must know, the god I follow is Mishakal.
Yes. The Mistress of Health. I have spoken to her on many occasions.
Have you had any luck lately? Because she's been ignoring me lately.
That's right.
I have not reached out to her recently, and very little do I reach out to them. They find their way to me, I found. The gods are often quite busy. I believe that this world is much larger than just where we stand, and they have their finger in many pies. I will implore you to continue praying. When the time is right, she will answer your call. As she has before.
Sounds good. Are we ready to get rocking and rolling here?
It's up
Yes.
to Ruby.
Thank you, Phil. Do you have an actual house? We could probably take you home.
I do, but do not worry about it. I think I will remain under this tree for a little while longer. I quite like the day is quite nice, and the breeze from the northeast is quite pleasant. I enjoy the swaying of the leaves above my head. It allows me to think. Perhaps, however, you had seen it on your way from Hellhall. It is just off the path a little ways back.
Ah. Well, if you take anything from us, just remember, if you hear a name called Vinith, that guy's a dick. Fuck that guy.
I will keep that in mind. I do not believe that this will be the last I see of you. I do not know why, but perhaps we shall meet again.
Alright.
Well, you know where to find us.
Probably not. We're gonna be moving. We're gonna be traveling. It's gonna be hard. But either way, that's all good. Are you all set, Ruby?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Time to burn more spell slots.
I wish you safety upon your travels, friends.
Thank you.
And you'll see he just kind of he just closes his eyes and just kind of stays right where he was. He never moved from where he was when he was always rested against that tree. And he just goes right back to closing his eyes just like you found him. So you guys probably wasted, well, I wouldn't say wasted. You guys probably spent a good amount of time talking to this guy. I'd say probably like 2 or 3 hours, honestly. He told you lots of stories. You guys told him lots of stories. I'm refusing to look at that comment. So the sun is a bit farther, more towards the east now, obviously, than when it was when you arrived. But you have the afternoon, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I will cast the polymorphs again. I got 3 more hours of it, but if we could save a spell slot so I could cast Dream on that dude, that'd be ideal. But I will use it if I have to.
Remind me, Dane, have you prayed today? I don't know that you did. I honestly don't remember. I'll give it to you if you want to try again.
Sure, I'll give it a try.
Right here, or do you want to wait?
I'll do it right now.
Okay. You're more than welcome
Before
to.
you cast a spell.
Okay.
So I'll try to channel divinity and talk to my homie. Mr. Call. So before I cast a spell, maybe Phil's gonna help me, you know?
Phil?
Phil, Uncle Phil, I don't know what his name is.
Dude,
I don't know, what is it? I cannot fathom your animosity towards this man. It is dumbfounding to me.
So nice.
I just found it kind of crazy. He asked for my last name, but no one else's. Knowing my backstory, I don't want to give out my last name very often. I don't know. I'm just taking precautions.
He told you why he wanted it. He's a very curious man.
I'm really hoping that he just tells everyone he meets that Venet's a piece of shit.
Okay, so you know my whole spiel. I'm trying to find some awesome way to travel. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try to pray to Mishkal right now. So I need to get 11 or lower with this D100.
Get it,
Oh,
dude. That
God
was.
damn it, Justin! Come on.
Oh,
I'm
wow,
trying,
dude.
man.
The
I roll
DM is
D10 next time to make
rooting
sure
for
I get
you.
it.
All right. So you reach out to Mishakal. Feel hears all this. It doesn't seem to do anything as he hears you pray. But do you pray? You pray out loud, right? Or do you pray in your head?
Nah, I imagine it would be in my head.
Okay. So I don't know what you do verbally, or not verbally, like physically, somatically. But
Maybe I just hold my amulet that I have.
okay.
Something along those lines. My medallion.
But you feel nothing. You hear nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess we have to cast polymorph, guys. Mishkal does not feel like talking to me today.
Okay.
Only a couple more days. Then we can go on to Danderfield and get our carts.
So I've cast it again
Okay.
on Ruby if she would like.
Yep.
Get to be an elephant for the day.
All right. So that's 3 hours you guys have on Woolly Mammoth back.
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay. So you'll get a fair amount done with that. Woolly Mammoths have a pretty good speed. They can cover a pretty good amount of ground. If you wanted to go a bit faster than typical Ruby, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, can I like trot along?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
And I will say, for the sake of expediency, nothing else happens the rest of your day. So you guys will probably spend 2-3 hours if you guys wanted on foot, or you guys could push it a little farther to get a bit more ground covered.
I'm willing to push further.
Yeah, if we got some, if we got the sun, let's
Yeah.
do it. We've been doing it every day, right? We've been pushing.
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
mean, might as
farther.
well. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys basically get as much travel done as you guys got the last day. So you are now basically at the right below the A on the second A on Sargonis. So
Shit.
you guys have made quite a journey today. Quite a journey so far. But yeah, you guys, if you'd like to, you can pick a spot to set up your hut if you wanted.
Yeah, I still can do that.
If there's anything you
To
guys
the
want to
hut.
if there's anything you guys want to talk about, feel free. Otherwise, we can just keep moving.
How do you think that the
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you want to do just 2 hours of Woolly Mammoth so you could do Dream? You guys wouldn't get as far.
No, we got to get moving. I gave it all. It's
Okay.
very sad. When we get to Dangerfield, I'd like to cast a spell if possible. Don't worry about it. It doesn't affect you guys at all. Just when we get to Danderfield, I have something I'd like to do. By the way, did you see how decked out in gold robes that dude was? Like, what if we just, like, I wouldn't want to rob him. He's super old and he seemed kind of powerful for being like 1,000, 3,000 years old. But like, how is he that old?
I don't know. He
Well-
mentioned dragons, and it kind of caught me off guard.
It
Wasn't expecting
is
that.
possible that he did kill some lingering on dragons that had remained alive until now.
I mean,
is that like a really odd theory for someone to have, Matt?
I'm sorry. What's your theory?
My theory is that the dragons just kind of lived out until present time, and then that's when the guy killed them, not like thousands of years ago.
you think that old dude killed a dragon?
No. I think he killed dragons when he was younger.
Ugh.
Yeah, the implication was mainly from him that he killed them when he was younger. And you know from your studies that dragons have not been seen in these parts for a very long time. So, I mean, if he had been fighting them semi-recently, which I don't know if that's what you're saying. It must have been in some very what do you call it when it's some place that isn't very well civilized.
Are
Wild.
we considered
Wild,
familiar?
or like I can't think of the fucking word, but like
A different word than wild. Like untamed.
kind of, yeah. I'm gonna think about it later. I'm gonna scream it out, and you can be like, "What are you talking about?"
Are we considered familiar with him now?
I would say probably. You guys talked to him for about 3 hours, so I would say if the person that hates him the most was most inclined to send him a sending spell, he could.
I also have sending.
Okay, so yeah, you could talk to him.
Just for future reference, if we find something in the library and we wonder if he has any input on it, right?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I don't know if I would want to talk to him personally, but we'll see.
Yeah. You're just gonna send him sending spells and they'll download, just like making fun of him. Be like, "Fuck you." Why are you asking me about my last name? So yeah, do you guys want to do anything in the hut, or do you just want to keep moving?
I probably would have recasted the spell on my goat
I was just thinking about that. Yep.
and have him patrol the hut. Well, you shake your head, but he is. It's good to have like a guard to watch us, so that we can just go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I recast it on the goat, and he walks around and patrols.
Okay.
And then I will probably go to sleep.
Okay.
I could.
Yeah, I'm
go
probably
for
just going
it.
to sleep. I can't really pray to my god or anything. So
I could go for a donut right now. Alright,
Uh,
go.
Yeah, you've had about 4 straight days of Dane's food, which at this point is not terrible. I mean, eating something 4 straight days is not awful, even if it isn't quite as perhaps gourmet as you'd like. But
What is
wait,
Dane
no, I
been
take it
feeding
back.
us?
I want to work on my brew.
Oh
That's what I
yeah.
want to do.
okay, I think I said that you have 1 more use left in your brewing supplies before you have to restock. So
Well,
if
it
you want to
hasn't
go,
finished yet. So is that what you're talking about? I have to...
well, I mean, from what I understand, you've made 2 batches. You can make
okay.
a 3rd batch, but you can't really do much else with it. I was gonna Google medieval brewing to find out what exactly you need to do for this fucking thing, but I'm not Matt Mercer, so fuck that. So you can make it. I'll let you make a 3rd batch if you want to, but you can't do much else with the first 2 that you've made.
Okay, yeah, I'll make a 3rd batch.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your. I think it was dexterity proficiency.
See, if you liked music, I could have sang you a song to inspire you, but you hate music.
You said dexterity?
What did I say? I don't remember what I said. Maybe it was wisdom. I don't really remember.
We can go back in the chat.
I think it was wisdom, actually. I had you roll plus 8 is what you ended up adding. So just roll a d20 and add 8, I think, is what you did.
Okay.
So that probably would have been your wisdom, I think.
D20 plus 8. Oh.
Average.
All right, yeah, it turns out just about as good as the... a little not. It's not quite as good, you think, in your crafting as the blueberry ale. That seems to be your pièce de résistance. That's the good shit you got there. But what is this one? What do you want to make this one as?
While I'm making them, I'm gonna ask around if anyone's got any cool, interesting ingredients on them.
Oh.
I think I had some berries left.
Kind of berries.
You had picked up
Some more
blueberries and
blueberries?
blackberries. Yeah, is what you had picked up.
Yeah, so I gave you blueberries ready, so I can give you some blackberries.
Yeah, sure. Let's stick some blackberries up in that bitch.
All right, so you got whatever your first one was, and you got a blueberry ale and a blackberry ale brewing. I don't exactly know where you're storing these, but you got them fermenting, so they'll be ready in due time, I think.
Nice.
You know,
imagine a guy
Dane,
walking around with a huge backpack full of brewing shit.
Yeah, clanking. The bottles are all clanking around.
It's that extra fermentation.
Yeah.
Dane, you're not at all what I expected out of a priest.
Why you say that?
I don't know, you seem standoffish with strangers. And also, you brew beer. I'm not saying that I haven't seen priests drink, because I have, but it's a whole other thing to actually brew them.
You know, my past has made me kind of not trust people as much as I should.
But you
Something
trust us?
What'd you say, Robert?
Like,
Do you trust us, Dane?
I trust you guys. I'm not so sure about Gengar though.
why? Because I play with dead things.
That's a huge
Probably.
reason why. Yes, exactly.
Well, alright.
Because you're definitely like not like any gnome I've ever seen, and I've been around quite a lot of gnomes since I'm also from the Cliffs of Anduin.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, alright.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough, you got me there, mate.
Yeah, so, as this goat's just like trotting around the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, on that note, I'm going to bed.
All right. Anything else, Ruby or Gengar, you want to do? Or Gallus?
I'm out.
Nope.
I have to stay in the hut.
Okay. So I've said this before, and I will actually follow up this time. For expedience sake, I will say that if we want, we can just cut you straight to Danderfield. It's going to take you 2 days to get there. I will let you do two rolls, Justin, to see if perhaps an intervening occurs in that time frame.
On
Oh,
the
so
day we-
praying to the god.
Otherwise, I'm just going to let you guys do it as usual. You probably more for 6 hours or 5 hours. Anything else anything you would want to do specifically during that time, you can tell me. Otherwise, we're just going to go to Danderfield because I want you guys to get to Danderfield.
Just the day we go into Danderfield, I'm holding a spell slot.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna try praying once the first day after we sleep.
Okay.
Whereas on the second day, I feel like at that point I might as well not because we're close enough probably. So I'm gonna try once.
It's entirely up to you.
So I'll try it once the next day as soon as we wake up, I would say. So let's give it a try. Nope.
Oh, it's getting lower. It's getting
lower.
So you're not going to do it the second time?
You know you want to do it.
I know I want to do it. I feel like I might as well, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Because I mean, if I roll it, we don't even have to stop at Danderfield. We just fly right over that bitch.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Here we go.
Oh God!
Okay, so repeat to me exactly what you are asking of Mishakal.
Shit, what'd I say?
I wasn't expecting it.
So it was along the lines of, Mishakal, could you possibly, or I shouldn't say possibly, can you provide me and my companions here with the fastest transport available, preferably flying if possible, to get to where we need to go?
Okay, so can you describe to me, I probably should have asked you this beforehand, but what was it like when you talked to Mishakal in the past? Do you see her? Is it just a voice in your head? What's the kind of experience that you had?
Let me check my character sheet, because there was that one time she did talk to me.
Clutch.
I'm so fucking glad. I'm like, please roll a second time. I really wanted it to happen. I'm so fucking glad it finally did.
So this would be the last day it happened?
So yeah, this would be basically the day before you guys would get to Danderfield.
Yeah, we got 5 hours before Danderfield, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll just try one more time."
I would say you guys. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say, I would say that I just hear a voice inside my head, and her voice is very, it sounds very
new
godly, I guess you
hand
could say.
touches the beacon.
Yeah, exactly, just like that.
God, I hate that. Okay. Okay. So as you're grasping onto your amulet, you don't see this because I assume you're praying with your eyes closed. Yeah, but the other three of you would. The blue infinity symbol on his warhammer actually glows a slight bit, a slight kind of illuminated blue. And in your head, Dane, you hear, "I have helped you in the past, Dane, son of Dimra, when you called upon me in great need. I do not see you in such dire straits now." And so I will let you talk
Is this like
to her.
a conversation I can have?
Yes, it's a conversation. So she doesn't say anything after that.
Mishakal, you responded. I've been trying to reach you for quite some time now.
I heard your calls. And I ask again, I do not see you in such dire straits now. Why do you implore of me this time?
Mishakal, I would argue that my need is dire right now. We need to travel to Zenitha as fast as possible. We are on a dire mission to receive an artifact from years past.
You enter yourself in the employ of a dangerous individual, perhaps rashly, I fear. Do you understand with whom you have aligned?
I don't know much about Marcosian. All I know is that he is offering a vast sum of money for this artifact that he requires.
Is that something that interests you?
The money? Is that what she's talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it more for getting your word and beliefs out there, and the money will go a long way in helping me do that.
I will help you how I can, but I first require of you, who are these you travel with?
Well, you see these three companions I've met. One of them, his name is Gallus, and he plays music, which I'm not a big fan of. However, he seems like a well enough fellow. He's a berserker. He likes to play, or not berserker, a bard, and he's a half orc. He seems nice. Plays the bagpipes, which has to be the worst instrument, though. And then there's Ruby Goodbarrel. She's kind of mysterious, but she seems very dangerous with a bow. We ran into a bunch of goblins and bugbears that attacked us, and she was very dangerous with that bow. She was very formidable in that fight. And then there's Gengar. He is... Well, I would rather not much talk about him because he's doing some things that I don't quite agree with. He's bringing people back from the dead, but he's very standoffish. He doesn't seem very perceptive at his how weird he is sometimes, but they seem all capable to help me on my mission.
I cannot commend or censure them yet, but I do have reservations about the gnome, and it seems that you share them with me.
Oh no.
Some people do not deserve healing, this you know, but there is sanctity in life, and there is sanctity in death. He either treads dangerous territory or openly embraces the Lord of Undeath, and for that you should be on your greatest guard. There will come a time when you must choose either him or me.
Oh.
And I'm gonna cry. It's so funny.
I'm going to
What do you
tear
require
the
of me,
group apart.
Mishkal?
I require nothing of you now, but you will know when the time will come. For now, find your wish granted, with the hope attached that when the time comes, you will make the right decision. Enjoy your burdens relieved with the help of Nerion and Tathor, who carried Glorion and Ventura of old. For the little folk, perhaps they shall prefer the backs of Leorna, who carried Ether, and Beorca, who carried Other. These steeds are old.
Do I know what she's talking about?
You. It's basically. Let me finish this little bit.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. These steeds are old friends and will carry you far. They will not tire before two-thirds day's journey, even at great speeds, and require half as much food as the steeds of these lands. These I lend to you, my servant. But do not bother me with such trivialities in the future. I like you, Dane. Do not threaten that. And so, essentially, she is giving you special horses to ride. These are 2 horses and 2 kind of smaller, like ponies. And I will let you either accept. There's going to be kind of pros and cons to each. So, if you guys decide to only take 2 horses and double up, you will be able to go faster than if you were to have 2 horses and 2 ponies with you, because the ponies, even though they are special horses, would still travel slower while they are carrying Ruby and Gengar. So it's entirely up to you if you want Nerion and Tathor by themselves, or if you also want to include Leorna and Beorca. They are, you don't know what they look like, you don't know exactly what they are yet. Technically, you, Dane, but I'll let you, Justin, make this decision in terms of gameplay.
These horses and ponies don't happen to have wings on them like Pegasus or anything, right?
You do not know.
I feel like each of us would want one, so I would take all 4, I would say.
Okay. So as he says, I like you, Dane. Do not threaten that. You get this feeling that the call has ended, essentially. And when would you have done this prayer in the day?
I would say probably right in the morning, yeah.
Okay, so as you, based on your location, as you kind of wake up from the hut, the hut ends, the spell ends, and the sphere kind of closes. You hear in the distance, kind of to the south, basically directly to the south from you, the thumping, the clodding of horse hooves, sprinting essentially towards your location. And it's a bit difficult to see because of how tall the grasses are to the south of the road here, but horses are a bit bigger than 3-foot tall grass, so as they kind of crest one of the hills, you see 4 gleaming white horses, perfectly white hair. Their manes and their tails are perfectly white as well. Some of them kind of have silver strands in them. As they get closer, you can see. But the 4 horses come rushing up and basically stop right at the south of where your camp was.
It's 2 horses and 2 ponies, right?
2 horses and 2 ponies, and it's very clear which one's which.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to my companions and say, Mishkal has answered my prayer. And I'm assuming they also see the horses kind of running up.
They all see the horses run up. They probably would have heard it beforehand. They haven't really heard the thumping of horses kind of with the speed and kind of fervor recently. So it stands out a bit.
Shadowfax. He is the lord of all horses. Has been my friend through many dangers.
You know, your hammer lit up a little bit there.
Oh, it did? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
What about my medallion? Did that light up too?
I think so. It's like a weird blue.
It was tough to tell because you were holding it, presumably clutching the amulet. So it was a bit tough to tell, but I would say there's a faint bit of light that kind of escaped through the clutches of his fingers.
Are you okay? Are you feeling under the weather? Feeling blue is like a thing, right? It's when you're not feeling great.
Yeah, I feel fine. I just kind of a little discouraged after that talk with Mishkal. She said my need was trivial. Kind of hurt my feelings a bit.
Well, I mean, you did ask for I don't know. I'd have to agree with your god there, actually.
I'm kind of looking at Gengar with a little.
God,
We're
we're
about
gonna
with what my god said.
You guys are gonna kill each other before we get to the sword. God,
Logan, roll up a second
Look, the last
character.
one
I mean,
your corpses because she
I
didn't
don't
care.
mean to be rude, but if I were a god and my fellows asked me for fancy horses, I probably would say the same thing. No
I didn't
offense,
ask. I
but I'm
didn't
very-
ask for horses. I asked for flying transportation. I don't think these guys can fly.
Yeah,
Actually, should I
fancy
investigate
horses?
them? See if they can fly?
Yeah, so give me an animal handling check.
Oh no.
I'm good at these.
Oh!
Oh,
As you kind of investigate these horses, you do not detect that they can fly.
Darn.
They do just seem like they don't really. She had mentioned that they are unlike steeds from these lands. So it's kind of implied you're not able to tell. You don't know. I mean, even with that 20 roll, you don't know that much about horses. But you can tell that these are not. They are mortal, but perhaps more than mortal at the very least.
Fae.
Perhaps it's a bit tough to tell. You don't really recognize the names she's referring to either. This should perhaps that is more important to her. Like they could just be people that only she knew. Like those names don't ring any bells to you, but they do sound vaguely elvish in nature. So you can glean from that whatever you'd like.
I'm going
so-
to call you Fluffy.
Should I tell them the names of each of them just so they
Yeah,
know?
so if when he says fluffy, you can see one of them like get pretty upset and kind of like shove his head towards like Dallas and kind of like
Okay, maybe not
trot a little way
Fluffy.
back.
Okay. You don't
Gallus,
like
that one's name isn't Fluffy. It's actually. Matt, help me out here.
So you don't know exactly which one is which,
Yeah.
but you do know that the two horses themselves are named Nerion and Tathor.
Miriam.
I'm gonna take Marion. You can take Tafor.
Tathor. That's his name is Tathor.
Nerion.
Yes, Nerion. Robert was very close.
Okay,
Alright, what
I
about
will-
these tiny ones?
I'll try with Tathor.
All right, so the one that you were next to, actually, Robert, that was Tathor, who you tried to call Fluffy, who he wasn't quite
Okay,
too
I'm
pleased
sorry.
with that name.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry.
And you would remember, Justin, that the small ones are called Leorna and Beorka. I will write those. And you recall from the names that she gave you of the people who rode them, Ether and Other, that there's kind of a connection between these two, a bit more than the other two. Like the other two were horses ridden by people of old, but it seems that these two horses were immensely connected by themselves and their riders.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell everyone the names of the horses and the ponies.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll let them pick which ones they want. But I'm taking Nerion.
And that means I got Tathor.
Yep.
Okay, so let me write that down so I know. So Dane is on Nerion.
Mhm.
Gallus is on Tathor. And then which ones would you prefer to take? Ruby and Gengar.
Is
You
one
don't
red?
see a difference really in between these two horses.
Oh. Besides color?
Not even really color. They do look pretty.
Oh,
All four of them look very similar in color.
They're all white and Shadowfaxy.
Yeah, with some silver strands
Okay.
in their mane and tail.
We all know Gengar's gonna want the boniest looking one.
well, I mean, I wouldn't wish that upon these. They don't seem like mortal horses, so I don't think they're gonna die anytime soon. And they're gifts from gods. I know better than to do the unspeakable to such gifts. Ruby, which one would you like? I don't. None of them are black, so I don't really care. That's more of my style.
I'll take Leorna.
Then I get Beorka. Come here. Say hello to Philip.
No! Oh, no!
You can see him actually, as you kind of guide him towards Philip, he gets very upset. And, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like, when you see a horse very upset, like, he's like shaking a lot, and like, his like hooves are beating the ground pretty heavily. He is not pleased with Philip.
Alright, I'm sorry, Beorka. And I just kind of like pet his face and try to calm him down. And I try to shoo Philip away for a second.
Okay. He seems to calm down a bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
you get the sense that they're not just like they're not dumb as horses. They actually seem to have a bit more to them than.
All right.
Cool.
Interesting. All right. See, that's better. All right. Just stay here and wait for a second. And then I go to Philip, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, friend. It appears I'll have to leave you here. Thanks for joining me on my journeys. I loved you like a son."
Oh, God.
This music. Dirt mouth, love it.
Goodbye, Philip. You stay here now.
And Philip is just like stone faced, shows no emotion whatsoever.
Alright. Anyways, I'm ready.
So they all do come equipped with saddles and bits and bridles and all of that stuff, so you don't have to worry about riding these things bareback. Unlike Shadowfax, they do require a saddle at the very least. The saddles do look pretty nice, though. There isn't anything particularly special about them from what you can tell, but they are a bit more, I'd say, intricate. Perhaps like the stitching is pretty nice, and they do seem like they're soft saddles. Because if the horses are going to be able to travel for 2/3 days travel, you're going to want them to be able to ride them comfortably as well. And it seems like they do kind of. It's not perfect. It's not like sitting on the couch all day. It's still kind of, depending on how you're riding them, it still could be a bit too much. But they're not bad.
Hell yeah!
This is pretty good. I'm very impressed, Dane. To be honest, I thought you were just making it up that your gods could help you.
It's few and far between that she actually responds, but you know, it's better late than never. I know we're almost at Danderfield, but this will still help us beyond.
To be fair, we got a long way to go. Danderfield's just the first stop. I mean, we got a long way to go.
At the very least, we should save some money on buying mounts.
We could still purchase a cart to carry large things.
Do I feel like these majestic beasts would not be suited to pull a cart? Is that like beneath them?
Roll me. What do I want you to roll me? What would that even fucking be? Roll an insight check on these horses.
There we go.
You can definitely tell that it would probably be beneath them. It also kind of seems like the speed that they're going to be traveling, presumably you want to get as much ground cover. I mean, if you guys are okay with going kind of slower, it might be, you could probably convince them if you were to talk to them, you could probably go for it. But just based on your understanding of these horses and as they are a gift from Mishakal, you don't think that perhaps a cart is in their best interests. But
okay, so I'm going to tell Gengar that. But Gengar, I don't think these majestic beasts should be pulling carts. I think them carrying our weight is enough to ask them.
Oh, fair enough. Hopefully we won't have to carry around anything too heavy then.
None of us have a bag of holding, do we?
I don't think we do.
You guys do not, no.
Okay. But a side note, now that I did this divine intervention, I can't do it again for another 7 days. That she answered me.
So then we will keep track of that then. I will keep that. I will keep track of this so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
I'll let you know is when you're able to get that back. 7 days.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. So if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, you guys can talk about it. Otherwise, you guys can hop on your 4 steeds and you can make your way towards Danderfield.
Ooh, I have all my spell slots for the day, guys. It's so nice.
It's very nice.
Before we get moving with all that, I'm going to go refill my glass of wine. So
thank God, I have to piss so bad.
I'm gonna get something to drink too.
Alright, I'll just stay here.
I love how me and Justin are just at odds with each other from the very get-go.
I'm so happy about that.
And it's like a good type of... It's a good type of bantering between the two characters. Like, it doesn't impede on, like, the overall gameplay.
Yeah. It's not, like, particularly volatile. It's just kind of like... you guys have differing opinions about things. Like
differing opinions and, like our differences, like, go to the very root of who we are.
Yeah.
And what, like, you know, is very canon.
Who's that? Robert, who's that?
Oh, this is Katniss.
Very nice.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yep.
I volunteer.
I volunteer.
Aw. Well, you got Lilo and Stitch poster in the background?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I also got Wonder Woman on the door.
Oh, cool.
So if I can get that. So yeah, this is my office. So I got Wonder Woman on the door.
Oh, sick.
I got Taylor Swift on that wall.
Nice.
Taylor Swift on that wall, and then I got like all of this stuff.
All right.
Oh,
we forget D&D. So Robert, folklore. Me and Lauren love it. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's different. It's her most unique album. I like it. It's just to me, it's more like I would put it on to like study or listen to work. And none of these songs are going to be like bangers on the radio, which is what I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah, Joe said he hated it because he couldn't blast it with the windows down on the way to the beach.
No, it seemed to be like her depressed COVID album, where you have to like listen to it in the background.
Yeah, it's just sad girl indie folk, and it's fantastic. I love it. I've been going hard on that.
It's her sad COVID album where she has to sit all alone in her mansion during COVID. Be all sad.
Yeah.
She has her cats.
She does have her cats, yes.
And she collaborated with several members of the National, so she wasn't doing it by herself. She was doing it with some very talented artists, so it wasn't just her.
Guys, if I can get my dream spell off today, I'm going to be so happy.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get you there. So I'll say that you guys get started early off in the morning, and we'll say 8 o'clock. You guys can get a lot of traveling done.
Question before we go:
Correct.
we have like a stat block for these things? How fast are they? I want to know.
I don't have a stat.
Normal horse speed.
It's not normal. It's normal horse speed, but they can go farther, and they require less upkeep, essentially. So I will make the riding horse. I'll put that in your guys' journal so you guys can see it. If I can figure out how to be all players.
So a speed of 60, that's pretty fast.
So yeah, speed is 60. I'm not exactly sure how far that will actually get you in terms of distance, but I will figure that out. But as for right now, before you guys leave, you guys will know, having come this way, that there is not much beyond Danderfield in terms of stopping points. So you can definitely make it to Danderfield from where you guys made it last time. But if you guys don't mind sleeping in your hut for every single day of this travel, you can do that. But Danderfield is going to be the only stopping point for a little while for you guys.
Well, we have the someone can do the find the path spell, right?
I do.
So that'll help us make sure we don't take any bad, out of the way roads.
Correct. And I will just tell you, Gallus and Gengar, you guys came this way. So you would have stopped in Danderfield on your way here. You probably, like you said, I think at some point last time, Gallus, you would have performed at one of the 2 inns there. So you guys are at least semi-acquainted with the town.
Yeah, I'm looking for the inn.
And so you got a free lodging whichever of those inns you performed at. So you know that perhaps you could acquire that again, depending on the situation.
Yeah,
just to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'll describe that on our way while we're riding the horses. It'll be like, don't worry, if I perform, I think they enjoyed me last time. Maybe that'll give you guys a room while we're there. It's great. Well, it's not the greatest. It's good. It's good for what it is. You'll be fine. You'll see.
Okay. So I will say that 2 or 1 perception checks, whoever wants to do them, just to see if you guys notice anything noticeable on your way towards Danderfield from where you guys are. I feel like at this point we can maybe just assume that Ruby's going to do all of these with advantage.
I can,
plus your +4 proficiency, so you're at 29. Yeah. You, as you're writing, you see basically the same things that you've been seeing before. This part of Gomorrah, it seems pretty samey. As you guys are kind of turning now, you guys are kind of going towards the northeast a bit more now than you were just going straight east. So you do kind of see the Sargonan Ridge up to your north and the northern parts of your journey. So you do get, as you're going, you get a bit more of a visual vista than when you were going straight east, where you just saw the horizon pretty much. You didn't see a whole lot, just rolling hills. So these mountains do stick out to you a bit more as you're going towards the northeast, which is I'd say probably for you guys a bit of a welcome sight. With that, as you get closer, Ruby, you do start to hear it's a bit imperceptible right now, but with your fantastic perceiving skills, you do hear the current of a river. When you hear that snaking or following its course, wherever that may be. But as you guys are traveling for a while, so you guys are traveling northeast, the waving brown and green wild grasses are gradually and intermittently replaced with the bright tan of wheat grass fields, the deep green of corn stalks, and the occasional lined tree orchard with pears or apples hanging from the branches. As you all get closer, the slow current of a river just barely catches your ears as it meanders on towards its end at the southern sea. So as you guys approach the town of Danderfield, you see very little of note in the city's appearance. Small to medium-sized wood buildings dot the city's exterior, with hints of larger structure towards the city's central core. To the south, you see a small curve in the snaking Spandrel stream. So you guys are kind of meeting up with the river here that you see on the map. It's a Spandrel stream, the river defining the border between the realms of Gomorrah and Tathamir. You start seeing a lot more, and farms stretch out for miles beyond the city's core. And there are a few buildings on the southern edge of the river you can just kind of barely glimpse. That they're technically under Tathamir control, since they are on the opposite side of the banks of the Spandrel, but they're rarely upheld to be part of Tathamir. They're just kind of de facto Gomorrahan houses. As you enter, there are no walls or anything like that. It's a town sitting on these roads. As you enter, you see many humans of many skin tones and sizes. The occasional half-orc and a bit more occasional halfling. You do not, however, notice any elves or dwarves, at least in this part of town. And the town is relatively bustling as you approach at the kind of the close of the day's work. People are starting to go their separate ways. The shops are starting to get closed. But you see travelers on carts and horses as they travel west to Hellhall or beyond, east towards Cinta and Tathamir at large, and north into Fair Morith, Digby, and War. You do notice, all of you guys, when you arrive, the people here look upon you warily, just as they did in Hellhall. Although you perhaps don't feel their glares as sharply. So you guys are now, I will say you have entered the city, not really a city, a town of Danderfield. So it's about, the sun is starting to set in the east. It's rather nice that you guys weren't riding directly into that, so your eyes were a bit averted from that, thankfully. But yeah, this is essentially just a crossroads town. As you enter, you do pass the stables, so you are able to stable your horses here, keep them safe while they're in the town of Danderfield.
That's good.
Good.
Is there a fee for keeping them there?
You can ask. Although, because you guys didn't come in on horses, you wouldn't have known from when you guys came in.
Yeah.
How much to stable our horses here for the night?
You see a man look at you. It's going to be five silver pieces, please, per horse. There's some mighty fine horses you got there.
2 gold then.
Yes, they will equal out to 2 gold. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be like, I will give him 5 and be like, you watch over this and give them the finest of hay.
He's going to look at you, and his eyes will go wide. He's like, well, I'm going to give them much more than hay, sir. These are going to get the finest sugar cubes. They're going to get the finest carrots. These are going to be well taken care of. Don't you worry.
I want to make sure that they're taken care of. It's that one's on me. Thanks, Dane, for giving us the transportation.
Don't thank me.
Well, you're the closest that I'm going to ever get to talking to a god. So, if our horses get stolen, we know who we're coming after.
You can kind of tell with that 5 gold that you gave him that he's going to treasure these horses like they were his own.
Yeah.
So I will ask you, probably Gallus, since you were the one that performed. When you guys came in, would you have performed at? You will have known which of these 2 inns you probably would have chosen. Would you choose the Earthen Flat, which is a bit more towards the center west of the town? It's a bit better quality. It's kind of like low to mid-range quality. Or would you have chosen the Greedy Mule, which is a bit more of like a dive low-end tavern, more towards the east of the city?
I think me and Gengar would have gone for the second one, right? The more dive bar, right?
If that's what you had wanted, yeah, it's up to you guys. I will entirely leave this to your.
Just followed you around.
Yeah, with the Necromancer, I don't think I would have gone to the out of the 2. I would have gone to definitely the more low key one.
Okay. So if you guys want, you can pal around Danderfield, see what interests you. Like I said, shops are starting to close. It's getting toward the end of the day. Some are probably still open. So if you guys want, you can try to grab something if you'd like. Or I can just have you guys head straight over to the Green Mule.
I'll meet you guys there if you want anything. I got to get our accommodation set up, and I'll point it out. So if they want to go, they can go, but I'll try to set it up for us.
But I think I'm going to go with you, but that raises the question. Should we try to get into stores tonight and try to get all our shopping done really quick, or should we just call it a night and do some shopping in the morning?
I'm fine with stopping for the night and then doing some shopping tomorrow and then being on our way.
It's a lot less stress, I would say.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just head on to the tavern then.
All right.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be like royalty. Just to let you know, a lot of places I perform aren't. They're not the high. You'll be fine. You'll see.
All right. So as you guys make your way, you guys will basically take there's kind of a main road that kind of bisects the town a bit. So it's the town is kind of split up into three parts. There's north of this little main road that you guys came in on. There's a bit that's sandwiched between this main road and the Spandrel Stream to the south, and then there's just the very small amount of houses and buildings that are on the south side of the Spandrel Stream. There's not much over there. You have very little reason to try to get to that part of town.
Did you make a map?
I did, and I'm not going to show it to you guys.
Okay.
This is more for me because I realize. I think it makes more sense that you guys don't have a map of this town. You don't really know exactly what it's laid out like. This is more for me.
Okay.
Right.
So you guys will actually, as you guys are walking by, you will you're not going to go right by the earthen flat, but you will go kind of past where it is, and you can kind of hear a bit of the hustle and bustle coming from that section, kind of down the road to your right when you come in. But if you guys want, you can keep going. You're right past the central area. There's kind of like a little square here where a lot of the shops are set up with some canvas tent-like structures set up on wooden poles. You kind of smell some food coming through. You do smell some fish. You do smell some kind of meats that are kind of on display. A smattering of goods and stuff like that you can see. But you guys kind of walk all past that and you head towards the Greedy Mule, which is almost actually out of the town bounds. It's basically right by the stables. So you do get, as you're kind of walking towards it, you do get a faint whiff of like horse and like manure, that kind of thing. It's not terribly pungent or anything like that, but you guys are more than welcome to head into the Greedy Mule if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to go try to negotiate me performing, and then in exchange for lodging, and request just talk to whoever's at the place that time. Be like, I don't know if you remember, but I am passing through again, and I was hoping I could perform. Same setup as last time.
Okay. So as you enter the Greedy Mule, you immediately notice that you would remember this, Gallus and Gengar, and immediately you notice that it fits the name of the animal in the title. It is dingy. It's not particularly well kept. To the left when you enter is a warm fire burning that already provides you with a fair bit of warmth. From the slight chill outside, there was a northeasterly wind that was a bit cooler. It is kind of getting towards the fall season, so it's a bit towards the evening time. It is getting a bit chillier, so you get a nice bit of warmth as soon as you enter in. From your immediate right and towards the back that you can't really see, you can hear a patron or some sort of musician playing a flute.
Damn it.
It's not particularly but you can tell immediately when you step in, Genghis or Gallus, that it's not particularly exciting music. It's just kind of like it's just there to be kind of like a white noise kind of tone setting tune. He's mostly ignored by the patrons at the tables, you can notice, most of which are filled. It seems like this is kind of the working class bar of the city. God, it is not by any means a city, this town. So, and you see a darker skinned human behind the bar that you recognize as Rodolfo, the barkeep of the Greedy Mule. I will tell you it's Rodolfo. So you do see him quickly bouncing between patrons and pointing out tables to relatively exhausted waiters and barmaids coming and going from behind the bar. So yeah, you can go up to him and you can say, he'd be like, what is this guy's accent going to be? Something I can do. Oh yes, Half-Orc. I do remember you. Glad to have you here. As you can see, we already have someone performing, but it doesn't seem very exciting, I guess I'd say. I have to say the patrons really enjoyed your performance when you performed here last time, so I think I'll let you do it if you'd like again. All I ask is that you do something a bit more upbeat, get these people drinking and singing and participating if you don't mind.
No worry, I've been working on a brand new piece of music. I'm thinking, I don't know, what do you think of this name? The Fool of the Anduin.
I quite like that. I don't know exactly what you're talking about though.
It's in a regional piece I've worked up. So this is the piece I performed for you guys last time.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I just came out with the name on right now. The Fall of the Anduin.
Excellent.
That works with the. I came up. Gallus would have been working on a name while coming in, and when that guy told us the history, that he's like that. That's it.
Okay. Perfect. I love it. Well, I don't really recognize anything you're talking about in that title there, but if it is anything like your performances last time, I have to say I think people are really going to like it. I'm going to give Berto there a bit more time on stage just for him to finish up his song, but once he's done, if you'd like, you can perform, and I'll let you guys have the same room. It's actually still open up on the 3rd floor. You guys can have that room again if it's just the two of you. But I do see 2 more with you. You guys going to need an extra room?
Yes. It's better traveling in groups. Is that okay? Is that going to be a problem, or?
I'll tell you what, if you do get these people drinking and singing, I'll let you have that extra room for free. It's not on the same floor. It's actually going to be on the 2nd floor, but I'll let you guys have that one as well. It's got 2 beds. You can have that.
Shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Can I get you guys anything to drink? I'm afraid that's not in the house just yet, but anything you like. If you remember, it's going to be 3 copper pieces for a mug of ale and 2 silver pieces for a pitcher of wine, if you like.
I'm definitely going to take some ale. I don't know if you guys are.
Oh, yes, I'll absolutely have some. Long journey and all that.
I don't want any myself. I want to talk to him after he's done serving them about my brew, if possible.
Oh, man, I was not prepared for this. Okay. All right, nothing for you and for you, little one. He looks directly at you, Ruby.
I'll take an ale.
All right, well, it sounds like 3 ales. I have one of the girls here bring it out to you if you want to take one of the tables. It looks like one of them may be open.
Ooh, right.
Ooh, hold on. We're switching to the tavern playlist.
Yeah.
Tavern playlist.
All right, so I'm just going to mark off a gold. I'm just going to say I bought enough. Or actually, I should mark off. This was at 245. How much is the conversion here? It's 100 copper per gold.
Yeah, so I will say for the sake of it, because I think you guys all only have gold, right? I think you guys got some silver from some of the goblins. It wasn't much, but
I would have assumed it would have come in, like, if you say you got like 50 gold pieces, it like totals up to it, right? It'd be like it.
Yeah, I would say the amount of money you guys have equals out in some capacity to the amount of gold that you have on your character sheet. So 250 that you got from the Bugbear Chief is 250 gold pieces. The rest you can kind of break up however you'd like in terms of your own money, but it's not going to be 700 exactly flat gold pieces that you have in your pouches. You probably have a smattering of different coins.
All right, and I'll go to I'll turn to Ruby and be like, here's a trick that I learned. You look out for the drunkest person here. You wait for them to order a new beer, and then you go and you swap beers with them.
You just take their new beer?
Oh no, you have to distract them a little bit, but generally it's not too hard. Once I get playing and people start drinking more, you'll see it. I'll do it. I'll try to do it a couple times.
Are you saying this at the bar, or have you gone towards your table?
No, at the table. After we got
I was going to say, all right. I don't think the barkeep would appreciate that, but so yeah, you guys can find a table that's kind of.
This is why I get in bar fights, by the way.
You saw it when you came in. It's kind of close to the bar. It's kind of like it's a centralized table, so it's one of the closest ones towards the fire. It's kind of surprising that it's actually open. I think someone probably just left. It's a bit close to the bar, and it's kind of a bit far from the stage, but you can still hear it. And this place is very kind of cozy and homey. It's not very large. So as you guys, the three of you, head towards your table, Dane, you're going to hang around. Rodolfo is still kind of bouncing in between patrons, so you may have to stand there for a little while as he kind of says, like, 1 moment, please, and then he heads over to someone else, gives him a beer, comes back to you. Right, how can I help you?
Hi, Rodolfo. Question for you, and I'm going to take out my brews in progress, the three of them. Say, I am particularly looking for the means to finish these 3 brews I started. Could I possibly receive any equipment that you have that will let me do that, or go in the back and do it? Whatever you need me to do.
Well, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anyone ask me that before. It looks like some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at my craft. I just am missing the components required to finish the brews off.
Well, we don't have much in terms of high-end ale materials in this bar. We mostly just have typical lagers and the like, but if you'd like, you can take... I feel a bit unsure about letting you in the back just by yourself, but I kind of like the look of you. Most of the people around here aren't going to, but I kind of like the look of you, to be honest with you. I wouldn't venture far from this part of town. These lower parts is a bit more, let's say, tolerant, and I'll leave it at that. But I guess if you'd like, you can go back in the back, see if anything piques your curiosity, if anything seems like it'll work for you.
That would be much appreciated, because I need to finish these brews, and anything to escape Gallus's imminent bagpipes.
I think you're the only person here that's probably not going to be a fan. Last time, everyone seemed to really like him, so I'm not sure what your problem with him is. It seemed like he came in, seemed like friends to me, but it happens. I'm not going to ask questions. And so
this guy reminds me of that guy in fucking Thor Ragnarok, the rock guy.
That's because I'm doing my absolute worst Kiwi accent, and it's basically accidentally entirely. I just started saying stuff, and I'm like, okay, it sounds vaguely Kiwi. Let's just go with it. Let's just start hearing a bit of South African in there at some points. But so you see behind him.
It's fantasy, so it doesn't have to be accurate.
There's no locations. Any bad accent can be waved away. It's be like, that's just how they talk here.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can see behind him, there's a stairway down into the basement, actually, where it seems like a lot of the food is being cooked. A lot of the preparation is going on down there. So you can head down there and take a look, see what you can try to find.
Heck yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so I'll stick with you then if you want to go do that. So you can head down there. There are people coming in and out of this constantly, so you kind of have to be your big bulky self is kind of have to watch as you step. But you get down there, you find enough. This place seems kind of dank. It's mainly just a stone area. There's a big stone like spit and like fireplace area in the center of the room. Some big tables kind of where they're cutting the meat that they serve. You see very large kegs of ale, seemingly ale with spouts sticking out the bottom of them. Go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can find anything that you think would work for your brewing.
Get it.
14. Okay. You do see what seems to be the means to store ale. It doesn't seem like they do a whole lot of the production themselves here. So it's probably shipped in from another location, and you would probably know, having been there, that it's probably Samad, the main big city in this area. They ship it from there to Danderfield, and they just serve it.
Rats. Well, I don't know what to do. I guess since I can't do it, I guess I'll just kind of chill down here with all the people. Instead of going up there and hearing the music. Yeah, I'm just stay down there. I'm gonna talk to the. We don't have to like interact or anything, but I'll just go down there and talk to the kitchen staff, I guess.
You're just gonna stay down here the whole time. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay.
Well, for now.
Okay. So I'll let you can do that. You can talk to some of the bar staff while they're waiting for some of the food to get ready, or as they're kind of pouring jugs.
Well, I guess
of ale.
what I would do, I would be asking them like where they get their, their actual products from and stuff.
They will tell you they get it from Samad. They don't have a lot of the info about what the brewery perhaps is, the meadery, or the vintner, that kind of thing. They just know that they get it all from Samad.
Okay.
So you can talk to them. Back upstairs, the three you actually see there's 3 people up on the stage in the kind of southeast corner of the building. There's a raised wooden stage. You guys are a bit far from it, so it's a bit hard to tell, especially for you shorter folk. But Gallus, you see 3 halflings actually performing. Only one of them has an instrument. One of them is playing the flute, kind of statically, and the other 2 are just kind of there doing slow dances. It's very awkward. It doesn't seem like dive bar material, but it seems like perhaps maybe they tried to barter the same deal as what you did. But it's just not quite the vibe I think anyone really wants to go for. So after maybe a couple minutes or so, the songs do end, and so they will and you actually see Rodolfo kind of wave at them to come on over and get off the stage. And you can get up there, and a couple people actually recognize you from about a week and a half ago. People do actually recognize you. So just you'll hear some hoots and hollerings as people kind of clapping and cheering, and everyone kind of gets a bit. So everyone kind of stands a bit more at attention than they were from these halfling clowns. So if you'd like to step up onto the stage, it is your stage to be stepped upon.
I will step on the stage and be like, I'm going to play a original for you, but everyone get your ales in now, because afterwards we're playing some drinking songs. I'm thinking like Thunderfucked.
Yep, write it down, Matt.
I'm gonna have to make a playlist of all these fucking songs that actually exist.
Yeah, just I want to play some drinking songs after this.
So some rowdy stuff, yeah. So you actually see a couple people who they fully down their drink and they just rush up to the bar or try to find the nearest barmaid to grab them and try to. There's not a lot of tables in this place. It's not a very big place. There's probably about 6 tables. The bar has about 8 spots for people to stand and sit, and basically a lot of these tables are all full, and people are drinking and they're looking at you, getting ready to.
And then I will start performing.
Please give me a performance check. I will actually give you. I'll just do it straight. Let's do it straight.
Straight. All right. I look to see if I can inspire myself. You cannot. So here we go.
You can't.
Let's go!
There you go.
Wow.
This is even better than you. As you start playing, so you're playing Fall of Anduin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so it isn't really like a song that anyone knows. So they're not really able to get into it at all. They're not able to kind of predict where the song is going to go, what to do, how to kind of go along with it. But everyone at this bar recognizes the talent that you have. The way that you squeeze the bag, the way that your fingers are kind of, I don't even know how you play bagpipes. You poke holes like a flute. I don't even know. But the way that your fingers are flying along your pipes, they're going all over the place. You're squeezing so in a beautiful manner. It looks beautiful. It's if you want to describe what you're doing as you're playing as well. I mean,
I would go along the stage, and as I start going, then I'd start walking down, getting into it. I'd try to get people to finish their drink, maybe put my leg up on there's no table, but if I can get my leg up on something and can start the playing, just trying to get people riled up, especially for the drinking game that's coming after.
Oh yeah, you definitely see some people riled up. You see people of all sorts. Mainly, like I said, mainly humans in this bar, but you do see kind of maybe the three halflings, they're getting into it. They're just like, this is what we came here for. You do see there's a lone dwarf at the bar. He's kind of nodding his head. He's getting into it.
Okay.
Dane, I'm gonna have you, because you can probably hear this. I'm gonna have you roll. What am I gonna have you roll here?
Anger point.
Just give me a straight wisdom check.
Straight wisdom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Despite all of your claims that you are not a fan of Gallus's music, the bagpipes in specific, you are taken by the song. You can hear it. It's like where you're at downstairs is actually the acoustics as it bounces down the stairs are actually really good, and you can hear it very, very well. And it sometimes sounds even better down here. You can't help but really enjoy this song.
I'm in the acoustical sweet spot.
Exactly, and this is Gallus's masterpiece, and it is masterful.
Let's go. Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I want to play some drinking songs. And later on in the night, once people are a little more drunk, I'll try to like switch my empty beer cup with theirs.
Okay. I will say, give me that performance roll was for that song in particular because it was your song.
Sure.
Just give me a general roll for. I'll give you this at advantage because you're playing songs that people know. And that you have played before. Give me just a performance roll with advantage for the rest of the night as you're performing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as good. People can tell, but I mean, these are all songs people know. They are getting rowdy. They're drinking. Rodolfo seems they are even busier, obviously, than when you came in. People are driving to the bar to get. You see that these girls are carrying like 6 mugs in each hand. It's like Oktoberfest. It's going mad wild at the Greedy Mule tonight. So I'm gonna let you do that. You can play that. You can. Rodolfo's gonna let you up there for as long as you want to play. So you can be at that for a couple hours if you'd like.
Yep, just getting people going. Just making sure it's worth his while for us to stay for free tonight.
Okay, and you definitely have earned that. All 4 of you. He like the way he between one of the songs, he just kind of looks at you and just kind of. Salute, like you're good. Gengar, what would you like to be doing while Gallus is performing his song?
Gengar's gonna go like,
well, I don't know if it's the ale or if the song is just really good, but I think I'm starting to get this whole bagpipe thing.
And I'll just kind of just sit and enjoy the music.
Okay. Dane, does anything change about your situation once you've heard that song?
Well, how's the kitchen staff reacting?
You can actually kind of see several of them have come up. You see them just all go up as they start hearing this, like in the middle of it, they all kind of go up. And you don't see anyone come down for a little while because no one's getting more orders during the song. And the ones that do stay down, they are just as into it as everyone else.
I'd like to sneak an onion ring.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check with advantage because everyone is pretty distracted. I'll roll a general insight check.
What is the history of deep fried foods in your fantasy?
Thank God for advantage.
Is lawful good God.
Let me see if anyone notices.
Your God does. She punishes you.
Oh God! If these people had advantage, they would have tied yours. But as it is, they are smitten by the song. They don't notice the onion ring that you sneak off one of the tables. It's just getting ready to go out for an order.
Oh my goodness. Oh wait, can I do one more thing?
Sure.
I'll see the halflings and I'll just look at Ruby and I'll be like,
do you know those folk?
You can't do that.
I know, but that's what he says.
I'm gonna say, just because they're halflings doesn't mean that I have to know them.
I just thought maybe, how many of them do you see?
You can roll a history check to see if you, or I guess let's say a history of perception to see if you can recognize these people.
I'm sorry, I offended you.
It'd be so funny if she did.
But it doesn't it seem weird though that they're here?
You do get a very good look at them. You do not recognize them. It seems like these guys, the way these three are dressed, the way they're kind of interacting with each other, it does seem like they're kind of like a traveling musical troupe. The way their clothes look, it seems like, as you can tell from their music, is they're maybe not that successful, but they do kind of travel.
I guess a more appropriate question would be, does anything about their attire, their clothing, signify where they might come from?
Would I know that, Matt?
Kind of what I just told you. I mean,
okay.
it doesn't seem like particularly specific halfling clothes in terms of any part of the grassy knolls that you can differentiate. They are kind of like troubadour clothes, kind of minstrel-ish, where they're a bit over the top. So that's what gives you how you can tell that they're a traveling troupe. They give off that vibe rather than particularly halfling, grassy knolls-ish.
Okay. So I'll say, well, they look kind of like they're matching a little bit, so I think they may be a group, possibly musicians, but I don't know them.
Right, sorry. If someone asked me if I knew a gnome across the room, I suppose that would... Yes, I don't even know why I asked in the first place anymore.
It's okay.
But I don't know, I might know a gnome across the room, I don't know. They only live in one spot.
Well, it'd be a good chance that you would know them then.
There are no gnomes in this bar that you can currently see, though. Just so you don't have to worry about her trying to identify anybody.
Heard.
Okay, Ruby, what are you doing?
I'll be sitting at the table and I'll be enjoying the music, kind of dancing and bopping around a bit.
Okay.
Drinking my ale.
Sounds good. So Robert, yeah, you're performing with that 20. You're making a good time. Everybody's up and dancing. Perhaps there are points in the night when you kind of get down off the stage and kind of walk with everybody. You can walk with bagpipes. So, you're walking and playing. You're kind of getting in between everybody. People are kind of like pat you on the back as you go by. You actually have a pretty good collection of beers and ales starting at the foot, like at the edge of the stage where people are kind of setting stuff down. And after, I'm assuming you maybe drink some of them in between songs. There's an empty one. People are putting some coins in. So you're doing that. Dane, you're still downstairs?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Antisocial. You're saying that the gnome's a standoffish one.
Yeah, right.
My performance ends at some point, Dane.
Well, you're still performing, right?
Yeah, how long do you want to perform for, Gala? So you guys got there, again, probably like 6 or probably about 7 or 8 o'clock. So there's definitely enough time in the night for you to perform for a good amount of time. It's just kind of when you guys want to go to bed, kind of start wrapping up.
Yeah, I think my normal set is like, I don't know, an hour and a half, like at most. That would be like a long normal set for me, I think.
Okay. So yeah, so we could say that you get an extreme hour and a half out of that. As your performance is kind of coming to a close, what song do you end on? Do you want to end on Thunderfucked?
Yeah, that'll do that.
Okay.
I'll give everyone a warning the song before so they can go refill up all their tankards.
Yeah.
Play with their tables. Which I just made canon Thunderfucked in this game. Sorry, Matt.
Yep, that's all right.
So yeah, I'm assuming the tables know how to play the game.
Yeah, some of them don't, but some of them aren't going to participate. Some of them just probably already had too much and don't think they can handle it. But you will definitely see several kind of burly-looking dudes who probably work in the fields around the town or kind of do more menial labor around the town. They definitely partake. And
I'll make sure. Oh, sorry. And when I sign off, I'll just make sure I'm Gallus Berstead. Don't forget it. Let's go.
And you hear everyone cheers. They throw their mugs in the air. Not throw them, but like they lift their mugs in the air. It gets splashed everywhere. Gengar and Ruby, you guys are far enough away from most of them where you don't get you're not in the splash zone.
That's good.
So yeah, everyone cheers and you're able to get off the stage. If you'd like to go back to your table, you have a collection of ales at the stage if you'd like to take those with you.
Yeah, I'll try to grab them and be like, look, and I'll be like, let's give it to them. Where's Dane? I thought he would want an ale. Is that stereotyping if the dwarf doesn't drink an ale?
I'll come upstairs now that I've heard that you finished.
Yeah, it's a little bit of time, and you can kind of tell that someone else is approaching the stage. It looks like just like a general human man who's got quite it sucks to follow up that one. And he just plays some pretty like generally upbeat kind of music with like a lyre, but there's not too much more. But you do recognize Gallus with the songs that he's trying to play with his lyre. You've heard many times Valethium perform much better. But you do notice the
copycat.
I mean, there are like general lyre songs that all bards that would probably know, and he's just playing those. Right. So yeah, you can definitely tell a shift in the atmosphere, Dane, from Gallus stopping into this guy starting. It's a bit more inoffensive music, I suppose, than the aggressive bagpipe music that Gallus is playing. Actually, this guy's playing this song right now, Chant by Loon Fern.
It's jamming.
That's pretty good. So are you going to come back upstairs then?
Yeah, I'm going to come upstairs.
Okay.
And I'll start drinking my ale and stuff.
As you kind of pass, Rodolfo's like, you were down there for a real long time. Really not that big of a fan of...
I'm sorry, continue.
You're really not that big of a fan of Gallus's work, eh?
Well, obviously I was moved by it, but I'm going to try to stay strong and say, like...
Okay.
No, I just don't get it, man. People think he's good, but he's really not that good, let me tell you.
Roll a deception.
First he's stealing, now he's lying.
Oh my god.
So he rolled a 4.
Oh my
god. So he actually is like, all right. Well, your friends are over there at that table over there, over by the fireplace. If you'd like to join them.
Yeah, I would. Could I get something to drink? Ale would be perfect.
Absolutely. I tell you what, everything tonight's on the house for you guys. If you want to tell Gallus that, so I'll have one of the barmaids bring it out to you, and I'll have you bring it out another round for you guys if you like.
Sounds great. I'll give them the news.
All right. So you head on over to the table.
Are they aware that everything's on the house right now?
What's that?
Are they aware that everything's on the house, or
no? No. So I mean, Gallus has gotten a shit ton of mugs and horns and stuff of ale that he's brought over. I don't know how many of you guys have perhaps tried to buy Gengar and Ruby, but it's essentially going to be on a, if you'd like, it could have been on a tab or whatever, and it's just going to be hand waved, so don't worry about it. Nice. But you guys don't know that currently. You guys think you're just kind of racking up a small tab.
Dane, look at all these mugs with he's got. Do you want the horn?
Oh, I'd love a horn.
Look. I don't really know where it came from, but, I'm sure it's fine.
So some of them perhaps roll. So there's 6. Let's say there's 6 mugs on the table here. Roll me a d6 for each of you to see which one that you. Well, I guess Gallus, roll me a 1d6 and we'll see which one you get.
There's such a faster way to do this than what I did. 3.
Okay, you grab the third one. You can kind of tell just because the ones that you brought over, this one's a bit colder than the rest, so you get a cold beer. Dane, reach out, roll me a D5.
D5, is that even a thing?
You can make it / roll D5 and it should roll for you.
Yeah, and roll 20, anything can be a die.
How do you do that again? It's just / /R D5 space.
Yeah.
Also 3.
All right, so you get the one that was essentially right next to that one. You take a drink. It's a bit warmer than the rest. It seems like it's maybe been sitting out on that stage for a little while, but that's the one you have. And so that was the only warm one. You guys, the other two, you guys are fine.
Oh wow!
Wonderful.
So yeah, you guys are all sitting at the table, and then as you guys are kind of conversing, another 4 beer mugs are placed in front of you guys from the barmaid.
I'm not gonna finish the warm one. I'm just gonna put it to the side and take one of the new ones.
Okay.
Oh,
She kind of sees you do that and takes it, and it's like, okay, I get it.
I think she knew I took the onion ring. She was giving me a side eye.
Oh, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think the Fall of the Anduin really works for that first one.
That was, and these are not my words. These are the words of the locals. That was a rip-roaring time.
A rip-roaring time. I'm gonna have to remember what I did. I don't know. I just was high on life or something. But I think we're good for staying the night here. So we can kind of decide where we're going next. With our super special horses.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like to go around town and find some things for my travels. I assume we all won't. We'll probably need some healing potions and some other necessities, and then I have some specific things that I personally want. But as to where we go, that can be up to you guys, and I'll just follow.
So, from our history lesson from a couple days ago, he mentioned Anders Bane, which is kind of like on our way. I don't know if it's on the way, to be honest.
It's
sure.
So you probably, it's a bit off the road. You would know that it exists. You probably didn't see it on your way in, but you do know that you did pass it. It's the same kind of with the Sea of Blood. You probably didn't see it. It's a bit off the road, but you know that both of those are there. Because the road, I forgot that I am not the same page as you guys. The road basically hugs Seathrolin, the forest there. It's basically right on the edge of the woods there. And so the Sea of Blood and Andersbane are a bit farther off into those plains to the north of there. So you know that they exist over there, but you didn't really see them or investigate them, probably because they're a bit out of the way.
I don't know if that's where we want to go, as it's not our assigned, or if we just want to head straight up to Zenitha.
You know, my curiosity has been piqued about that, and I would want to go see it, especially if it's on our way.
What do you think, Ruby and Dane?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Ruby and Dane.
We should probably get. I'm guessing we have a map of the world if we're talking about this, or if not, we should totally buy a map.
That can be one of our necessities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
you
that
guys
should be
probably,
expensive though, I think.
you guys don't have a map, but you can. There's more than likely someone in town who can give you, if not the one you see in front of you, but one with main landmarks, towns, that kind of thing. So these things, the Andersbane and the Sea of Blood may not pop up. You're not sure, but you do know that they are along your journey, at least from the way you came in.
Yeah. So here's my question: is do we want to stop and look at that, or do we want to just head straight up to the library?
I say we stop and check it out.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with stopping.
I mean, it's still several days away. There's almost a week to get here, so I mean, we have a very lone trek back up to Zenithar. Gengar. So
Yes.
And
Well,
it-
this time we have horses, so
that's gonna make it so much better.
yes. And not just any horses. Horses bestowed on by the gods themselves.
I swear, if that stable boy does anything with the horse, I think I paid him enough to make sure they don't get stolen.
It'll be fine.
I think the horses could handle themselves if they try to do
fight?
anything.
Oh.
They seem like very loyal beasts. I shouldn't say beasts, majestic creatures.
Yeah, so I think getting a map, just so that our characters can say we're looking at a map and plan out what we're doing at the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we gotta figure out a way to get to Zenitha. Unless you think there's like well, I don't know if I would know this, never mind. There's I don't know, I wouldn't know about like teleportation circles or anything like that because I'm Gallus, I'm a bard. So let me X that.
So I will say, while you guys are talking, you guys actually over here, because you guys are pretty close to the bar, you kind of hear a soft voice that's talking to someone say, "No, but you don't understand. My father will pay you whatever you ask if you help me. I can hold my own in a fight, I promise you. This armor isn't just for show, you know. Please?" And you see this small human, essentially a child, kind of like 14 or 15 years old, slowly walk away from the bar. As he looks at your table, his eyes briefly light up as he looks towards your table. He kind of walks towards you guys and says, "Excuse me," he says, directed to you, Dane.
Oh.
You were at Hell Hall, weren't you? So roll me a perception check, please, to see if you recognize him.
Perception check.
I don't remember any children at Hellhole.
So you don't recognize this kid. And you, so do you? So you don't recognize this kid at all?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, hello, have we met?
Well, not exactly. My name is Doug. I'm of the house of Bappenthorpe in Digby. I was in front of you in line at the Hell Hall entrance, and I recognize your face and your beard and your armor.
Oh, I remember the kid now.
So none of you guys do actually, because none of you actually saw him. He was only ever close to Dane.
Okay.
He was essentially the very first person you guys ever had talked, I think, in the campaign, besides Nork, who was promptly, immediately said, "No, you're not good enough." So I tried to get in. My father wanted me to try to get into Hell Hall, and I was refused. Did you get in?
I'm afraid not. They told me that dwarfs were not allowed in there.
All right, roll a deception check.
I was gonna say.
Oh. Liar. Damn.
Well, dwarfs aren't allowed. It should be common knowledge, right? Oh my gosh.
Jesus, dude, holy shit.
Perceptions are not my
Lied.
thing, apparently.
You're such a
I'm used to being
liar.
auto, where I can just do that on the fly.
Your last three rolls have been 3, 1, and 1.
Yeah. So he kind of looks at you and is like, well, I don't remember that being a rule. Are you sure? And he's gonna kind of look at the other three of you. He's like, I don't know. We don't recognize you guys, but did you guys get into Hellhall?
Yeah, we have.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I guess
I don't see why we have to lie to everyone we meet.
we're gonna have to come up with a system with the group so that we know when we're gonna do the lie thing. Or we need like signals or something.
Yes, I think that would be very beneficial.
Yeah.
Signals. It's called
But-
follow the lead of the person that talked.
Oh my god.
Aye, laddie. Did you say
Jeez.
her name was Doug?
Doug. It's Doug. D-O-U-G. Doug. And so you see he has actually some really nice armor on. It doesn't seem like it's seen use. Again, this is like a 14, 15-year-old kid. Maybe a bit younger than that, probably about 13 or so. It seems like this armor was definitely fitted precisely for him. It's a pretty nice quality. You can tell that yourself, Dane. He's got a pretty nice sword attached to in a scabbard as well. From what you can tell, it's also very ornate. And he's gonna kind of his eyes are gonna brighten when you say that you guys got into Hellhall. It's like, so you're looking for the Eldersword. They accepted you.
Yes.
Well, take over, Gengar. You're the one who wants to talk to him.
He's kind of focused all his attention towards you now, Gengar, and
Well, yeah, I mean, you seem to know about it, so yes, that's what we intend to do. But before you ask any other questions, why are you here, and what is the child doing in that outfit?
well, I'm a son of the Lord of the Bappinthorpe family. We're a very prestigious family in Digby, very well known in Fair Morris. Perhaps you're not from around there. I don't often talk to your kind.
Not.
And
I mean, does current politics count as history?
I will let you do
Like
it.
contemporary.
Just to see if you determine if you recognize.
I mean,
that
I
name
think
at all.
that's a little bit different than history, but if you will allow it, yeah.
The name doesn't really ring a. You probably heard the name a couple, maybe once or twice. The town of Digby, you would know, is not big. It's probably a bit bigger than this town.
Okay.
So there's not a lot to the town, and so you don't recommend. You probably don't. You're not really picking up on there being large, important families of Digby.
Okay.
But you can tell that by his armor, though, that there is money involved.
Right.
Probably based on the quality of the craftsmanship of his armor and his sword. And he's going to say to you, well, my father has money, and I'm sure you're aware of what's going on in Digby right now with the war and the siege and everything.
I know only a little bit, honestly.
Well, Digby is under siege by Gomorrah. And it only happened a few days ago, so perhaps you haven't heard of it since it was about a week ago, so you might not have heard of it from when you traveled by it on your way, if you traveled by that way. My father is a very important man in Fair Morris. He has many connections. He has lots of money, if you can probably tell by my armor. I haven't used it before, but I can tell you that I can hold my own in a fight. And he's making an offer to anyone who is willing to partake. If you let me travel with you, my father will allow you to retain the original reward from the Lord of Hellhall. He will also offer you for an extra reward from his own coffers if the name Bappinthorpe is allowed to be associated with the quest and the success of the quest.
So let me get this straight. The Lord of Digby wants... Am I getting too cockney? I'm getting too cockney. Lord Digby wants his 14-year-old son to travel with a bunch of strangers so that he can have the Eldersword, and he'll give us more money and more reward.
He doesn't want the Eldersword. He wants an inn with the Lord of Hellhall. So if he can say that he assisted in the acquiring of this apparent relic, he will reward you for brokering that connection. You would keep the Eldersword, and you would keep the reward that the Lord of Hellhall gives you, but you will get an extra one in return if I am able to assist you.
Can I insight check him?
Absolutely.
So Gomorrah is like Hellhall. They're besieging Digby, right? If I read this right?
So what I'm looking for specifically is why... Well, first of all, I like, what is he lying at all about anything? And then, like, Gengar is still confused as to why a child is being sent to do this and not someone older.
Yeah. So just to answer your question, Robert, you've got it completely right. You guys would have seen coming in the brewings of war, and it's not a hidden secret or anything like that. Gomorrah has been at war with Fair Morris for quite some time. You're not sure about the inroads that have ever been made, but when you guys came in, you guys probably got an inkling of an approach towards Digby when you guys came in. So there are Gomorrahan troops in Fair Morris, last you saw, and it seems like Digby, as you can see on the map, is pretty close to the border. So it's not, like I said, a particularly large town, but it's mainly getting a foothold more towards Fair Morris.
So Gomorrah has been at war for a while, and they've only still gone to Digby?
Well, it partially is just making the head roads in from fighting the battles at the mountain paths between Samad to Digby. So there's been a lot of bloodshed, you can probably assume. You don't really know exactly how the army has worked thus far. But while you were in Samad, and you probably went past a lot of that, so you probably did see the gearing up for that kind of thing, and it's kind of been constant. Fair Morris isn't a throwaway realm. Like, they have a potent army, probably just as much as Gomorrah does. But to answer your question, Gengar, he seems to be telling the truth. And he can kind of realize that you're a bit confused about why someone's so young. He'll be like, well, I'm his only son, and he doesn't have a whole lot of options. He himself can't fight anymore since the losses he sustained in the last war. So I'm his best option, and I'm hoping that you guys look like you're capable from what I can tell. I mean, I don't really know anything about gnomes or halflings, but I'm hoping I can help you in some way.
What kind of experience do you have in fighting?
Well, my father's man-at-arms trained me. I've never seen battle, but I've trained a lot. I can handle my own, I promise you.
Have you taken a life?
Have I taken a life? No. Nothing human. I've hunted before, but nothing that would...
How did it feel when you took the life of a deer? You took the life of your prey, and you watched it die.
Fucking Gengar, come on, man.
He's gonna kind of look around at the rest of you, and Ruby, you'll notice that every once in a while he has kind of been peeking at you. As every time he kind of does, and he kind of makes eye contact with you, he immediately darts it away, and he kind of blushes a little bit. But he kind of looks at all three of you guys like in succession, like he's like, I don't know really how to answer this question. But he kind of looks back at you and says, I don't know. I kind of liked it. It made me feel powerful, but it's not like I fought back or anything.
Good.
I assume that your father is looking for peace.
My father doesn't particularly care one way or the other. He just wants... He can't broker that kind of thing. The only peace that can be brokered was with the fair king. But he's hoping essentially to satisfy his own needs and his own status.
Oh boy. Oh, dude, what a dilemma Matt put on our lap.
Well, why don't you take a gold piece, have a drink over there at the bar, and we'll talk about it amongst ourselves, okay? What's your name, kid?
Doug.
Oh yeah, that's right, Doug.
Doug Bittity Bop.
Bippity boppity boop. Yes.
So we insult his family right as he leaves.
He just kind of like...
I didn't say bippity boppity boop.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at looks at you, Day, when you say that, and he's like, okay, take all the time you need. And then he'll kind of go back over towards the bar, and you kind of see him just pocket the gold. He doesn't buy anything with it.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
I'm gonna let out a belch and say, yeah, I don't trust this. I don't think we should do it.
You don't trust anyone.
I don't want some frickin' snotty kid telling us what to do and coming with us, who's never killed a person before.
Who says he's gonna tell us what to do? And even if he tries to, well, he can't do anything. He's 14 years old. He's barely trained.
Well, according to him, he's quite capable, and who knows what he can do.
There is a middle ground here.
And what's that?
We tell Doug, look, your dad isn't expecting you to come back anytime soon anyways, right? Tell him to take a small vacation, do whatever. And if we go find the sword and we just bring it back, he doesn't have to come with us, and he can still just do the whole thing if we don't want to. I'm worried about this kid dying, okay? If his kid dies, we could never go to Digby, right? I mean, we'll be bringing back someone's only kid's deceased child. I don't imagine that goes over well, right? Do we care about the peace either? Like, let's say the Bappity Bippity Boopy Thorpes do get their name on this, and they do get to go to Hale Hall. Does it help? Is that helpful to what we care, or do we just not care and it's indifferent?
The only thing I care about is having another body helping us.
No, not like
oh
that.
My
really?
God, really?
You know exactly where we went with that one.
No, not like that. Come on,
He's just a kid.
I see your motivation here now. You're gonna send him right in the battle. Front line.
No.
He's gonna take a foul sword swoop to the neck. Oh darn.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, if he did die, that would be an option. But that's not what I'm talking about, okay?
Oh man, I could just see it. Gengar uses Blight on him when he has like 15 hit points left just to finish it off.
No, I don't do that. I'm not a monster. I take what's already dead. Anyways,
Sure.
I think I like our freaky little group, and anything to make it a little more freaky and weird is alright by me.
It's a child.
I think I think we need to ask Ruby what she thinks. She's always quiet and brooding and mysterious. I say whatever she says we'll do.
Whatever I say will do. I don't know. I don't know if we, how do we know that we trust him? And then we'll just have this random kid with us this whole way. I don't know.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, we'd be responsible for a little kid. And who's going to ride with on our horses?
Not going on my horse, that's for sure.
I'm sure he has a horse. How'd he get all the way over here?
I just checked my age. I'm 16.
You're 16?
Holy shit.
Orcs only live till like 30, right? I'm pretty sure half orcs
30?
don't have a very long orc.
Maybe
scene.
50, man. I don't know about 30. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I got it open.
I don't think they live very long.
The age notes be faster and rarely live longer than 75 years.
Oh, well,
They reach adulthood around age 14, so you are an adult.
I am an adult. I've barely lived longer than this kid, though, technically. But I'm not telling them that. We would be in charge of taking care of this one. This laddie.
Well, my vote is no, because he's a kid. And just because he was trained by the battle master of Digby or whatever, doesn't matter. We don't know if that means he has any official training. I feel like he's a liability, and he'll get.
So is that
cut
what
down.
this is now? This is democracy, where we're all voting.
I would be fine with a vote. There's 4 of us. If it comes to a tie, we'll do rock, paper, scissors.
Oh. Very well. So there's no leader. Okay, whatever. I'll just throw in a yes vote because why the fuck not?
I'm a nay.
All right, Ruby.
That's
what do we
literally
want
my
to do?
only reason. Is why the fuck not?
I think I'm going to have to go with no as well.
All right, I'll respect that. But do we want to just tell this kid to take a vacation and we can like meet up with him after we get it? I feel bad for his family.
I'd be fine with that.
Doesn't matter to me. I've been outvoted, so.
I don't want to.
Gallus has not voted yet. He could tie it up.
Dude, guys, this is such a bad idea.
Oh, it's not.
You don't have to vote for a tie. You can say no if you want.
No,
totally sealed the deal.
I'm down to say no. I feel like I want to give this kid a different option. You know what I mean? Because he might find a group that will say yes, and then he will die, right?
Yeah, he might join up with another group that is not as good as us. And then he will die, and then will that be on your consciences? It won't be on mine, because I don't really care, but you all seem heavily invested into the life of a child.
That's low.
What?
What if he tries following us and then we're stuck with him anyways?
Then all this voting and squabbling would have been for nothing.
So there's no way he can keep up with us on our horses. There's no way.
Oh,
I'm
that's
telling
true.
you, someone of his stature has a horse.
Sure, but our horses are better.
All we would have to do is turn around if he's following us and frickin' whack his horse or something with my hammer. Break its leg. He won't be able to follow us.
Oh man! I
Oh,
don't know
so
how I feel
now
about
who's
animal
the
cruelty.
evil one?
Jesus.
You're all so judgmental about me. You've got
Oh, here we go.
the silent killer over here.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
just give it a little whack on its leg. Just give it a little bruise.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have played Oblivion or not, but I'm just imagining this kid as like the adoring fan after you win the arena.
Yeah,
That's what I'm wondering.
I've played.
I
Yeah,
haven't played the Oblivion yet. I have it on my computer.
the level up system's harder than Skyrim.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't take a kid with us, but like, I don't want to just tell this kid to F off. I want to give him an option to like chill. We got to come back through here anyways, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that is sure. Yeah.
Do you guys? Here's my question: do you guys want the Bippity Boppity Boop name on returning this or not?
I personally don't.
You don't? Okay, see that's different. See, if we don't want his name on returning this, that's a different story, and then we can't. We would have to just tell him no.
Yeah, because not only do I not want it on it, I don't want the responsibility of watching him.
Well, no, I would just tell him to chill here and wait for us to return. I'm fine. I don't want this kid to come with us. Let me put it this way. I'm doing a no vote, but I want to give this kid a different option. I don't want him to... He's clearly desperate, and he's going to just find someone who will get him killed.
Maybe we should just tell him to go back to Digby and help defend the town, since he's so capable.
Oh, man. That's death, too.
You're so worried about his life and about taking care of him, then you go send him off to war.
What? If he's so capable, maybe he'll swing the battle in their direction. You don't know.
I don't
Maybe
think you
he'll
know how
die.
a battle works. I don't think one soldier can turn the tide.
Depends on the soldier.
This guy turns
What?
out to be
Well-
fucking Master Chief.
Honestly.
Alright, at least we agree no. Do you guys care if he comes with us back to Hellhall if we get it or not?
Oh, I don't care at all.
I feel like... I don't know.
I'm fine just telling him it's too dangerous and he... And
Yeah,
we
I
can't
say we should
guarantee
do
his
that.
safety.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna break his heart?
Not me. I'm the good cop in this scenario.
What's a cop?
I'm the good guard in this scenario.
I can...
Okay, well, I guess I can flag him down or whatever. Come.
I-
Yeah, he's
come back.
been looking at you guys this entire time, basically. Probably hasn't heard what you said just because of the amount of noise in the bar, but he's definitely been watching you guys. So he'll come over and run over to your table.
Man.
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
So what'd you say? What do you think? Can I come?
Doug, I'm afraid we're not gonna allow you to follow us. It's simply too dangerous for a kid.
But you don't understand. My father won't let me come back unless I have this. Everyone I've asked says no, and at this point, I have no other option. I don't want to go off by myself, but I feel like I'm going to have to.
God damn it.
You can see his heart sinking, but I'm leaving this entirely up to you guys.
Well, go on, Gallus. Tell him what. Give him your little spout of hope.
I thought...
Yeah, Gallus.
Oh,
Go on.
oh, okay.
Go on.
Look.
Go on and tell him.
Look, Doug. I don't mind having your family name on the sword. I worry about you. I know you're very capable, but the last thing I want to do is deliver the dead corpse of an only child to a very important family in Digby. Okay, you see how that would be pretty bad, right? Why don't you secure us, stay here, keep in touch with us, maybe we send you a message or two, and when we come on the return, you come with us to Hellhall in the final leg of the journey from Danderfield to Hellhall and present with us.
Well,
No one would know but us. And you.
Well, my father is going to want to see it first,
Oh, so then we
so he can provide the reward to you guys when he sees it.
Oh, he's gonna take it. Ha! He's gonna take it.
Fuck
Yeah, he's
this
gonna
guy. We're totally not doing it
he's
now.
Oh, he's totally gonna take the elders. No, that's okay. So I hate to tell you this, kid.
No, he's not going to take it. He just wants to. I don't think he wants to take it, but he's going to give you the reward, and he'll send me on to Hellhall with you guys.
I'm sure. You have to see how this looks from a perspective that isn't the son of a ruling family in Digby, right? Clearly this is a powerful artifact, and we'll go to city. Your city has been under attack from Hellhole. I think your father might be trying to get a weapon that might turn the tides of war in his city, right?
I don't exactly know. I don't think my father cares about that all that much. I think he more just wants people to say the Bappinthorpe name was associated.
Well, it can be, but I don't think delivering the item to Digby on the way back would be smart for actually doing that, right? If we can collect the reward at another time. And to be honest, I don't care about the name on it. It doesn't change anything for me. But if you join us between Danderfield and Hellhall, you can say you delivered it to Hellhall. That would not be lying if you're not into lying like that. But look, I'm not bringing some royal family's dead kid to a city. I can't do that.
Not only that, I don't believe your father is in it just for the recognition of the family. His city's currently under siege, and he's worried about the name of his family possibly being known for getting this artifact. I think he should have bigger things to worry about right now.
When you say this, he's going to get kind of upset and be like, "You don't know my father. You don't know anything about my father." You know what?
I know enough that he sent out a 14-year-old child to go find an artifact.
I can hold my own. You know what? I don't... Okay, fine. You guys don't want me. I'll find my way. But I am going to find my way to that artifact with or without you guys. And you guys are going to feel really bad when you find out that I got it first. And he takes out the gold piece, slams it on the table, and he's going to walk towards the stairs and walk up to the second... up the stairs towards his room.
I don't give a shit now. Look, I gave him an option, and he didn't take it. I was like, fuck that guy. I don't have
Fuck
any...
that kid, that's what I say.
Fuck
Here,
that kid.
I'm gonna raise my glass.
Fuck that kid.
Gengar just shakes his head and kind of like smirking, like...
I gave him an option out. Did I not?
It's just
You did.
Ruby,
it's
do you
amusing
agree?
how so invested into this stranger child you all are.
Ruby, do you agree we gave him an option?
Yes.
And for the record, that dad is totally trying to get the item himself, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
He wants to see it first, please. Get out of here.
Matt scribbling notes. I guess he doesn't anymore. Oh no. Well, it'll be fine.
We don't need him. He would have just been a hindrance anyways.
Maybe he would have been fine. He probably would have been connections in Digby if we ever stopped there, but I don't want the dead kids conscious. I got siblings of my own. I can't imagine my parents if I had to bring back a dead child to them. Or maybe his dad doesn't care because he's a dick and sent him out anyways. Fuck it, drink.
As you guys keep saying, fuck that kid and all this stuff, there's a few weird glances. There's a table kind of in the corner by the door when you guys walked in. There's a few older men in dark robes that have definitely been looking at you kind of weirdly since all this Doug stuff has gone down. But everyone else is just kind of like, whatever, fuck that kid, who cares? So, I mean, he's been accosting a couple of these people, it seems. So you heard him asking people at the bar.
Decisions were made tonight, guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't have anything else you guys want to do, you guys are more than welcome to go up to the sleep as the night dies down. Rodolfo kind of says, everything's in the house. Don't worry about it. But one thing you do, I'll say before you guys go to bed, if you guys want to do that, is with your passive perception, Ruby, you have been noticing throughout the night, as you're kind of looking around enjoying your drink, there is one person in particular that you've noticed. The way the bar is laid out, there's actually the steps go kind of up over the bar. So you see what looks to be kind of there's one seat at the bar underneath the stairs. So it's kind of shadowed a bit, but you do see a guy there sitting there. He looks kind of scraggly. His clothes aren't particularly well kept, somewhat dirty, kind of musty. He's kind of skinny. He doesn't particularly stand out to you visually. He's just kind of got mid-length, shaggy brown gray hair. And the only reason he's standing out to you in particular is that he's been looking at you and kind of staring at you with a perhaps alarming frequency. And this does kind of catch your eye because, as a halfling, you don't usually tend to get much attention from tall folk. They don't often, unless they have a reason to kind of acknowledge that you're there, you do often kind of go under their radar. But he does seem to notice you, and he has been noticing you for quite a long time. So you can do something if you'd like, but I'm just letting you know that you have been seeing this man.
Okay, so I'm going to say to the group, I know we have 2 rooms, but I would feel comfortable if someone would keep watch on our rooms, since I did notice this guy in the corner over there kind of staring at us all night, so getting an uneasy feeling from him.
What guy? And I start looking around.
Oh, Sam. We're gonna need a signal for that, too. We're gonna have to come up with some signals, guys.
Yes, lots of signals.
He's sitting over there kind of under the stairs by the bar. But don't everyone look at him.
Yeah, as you look over, and if you want to be obvious or not obvious, you can see that he's just looking down into his beer, his mug, his ale, whatever he's got in front of him. Just kind
I
of
feel it'll be obvious since we probably have a couple drinks in us, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've had that much, so I'll be the less obvious one.
Okay. But still the same thing. He after Ruby mentions that, he does just kind of seem to be all by himself. You don't really notice anything standing out about him. He's just kind of there.
Do you want me to go introduce myself? Maybe try to get my name out there? I'm getting too much gesture in this, and it's like pissing me off.
I don't think so. I think we just maybe everyone keeps watch while the other person's sleeping in the room that they're sleeping in, just to be sure that everyone's safe. I'd rather not bring attention, even more attention.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, I kind of just brought a lot of attention by playing on the stage over there. I don't know if you heard it.
I did. It was very lovely.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear it personally down in the kitchen.
That's. What were you doing for like an hour and a half?
I was just talking to the kitchen staff and stuff. I luckily couldn't hear the bagpipes down there, and some of them are saying you did a good job, but I know better.
I'm gonna have to put in my notes, play louder so that even the kitchen staff could hear it.
Alright, so how are sleeping arrangements happening? Who's sleeping with who?
I would like to sleep with in the same room as Ruby if possible, because Gallus might decide to make an impromptu bagpipe play in the middle of the night, and Gengar just fucking terrifies me, so...
And you guys would know, Gengar and Gallus, you were kind of offered the exact same room that you guys got last time, up on the 3rd story, so...
That makes sense. Me and Gengar already have a setup. You know, we already know who's gonna sleep in what bed.
Yeah.
Unless you're not fine with that,
me.
maybe. It's up to you.
No, that's good with me.
Alright. Well, suppose it's time. I think I'm gonna go to bed. We can talk about signs in the morning, I suppose.
And get the map.
Secret signals and whatnot.
It would have been really great for that blind dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been helpful.
Well,
I can take first watch. As I kind of want to stay up. I got the spell to cast. Don't worry about it.
okay.
So you guys are on different floors. Your rooms aren't adjoined or anything like that. Just so you are aware. I don't know if that changes any plans, but just so you guys do know.
Well, it seems like we're gonna have some person watch in each room, while the other one maybe sleeps.
So.
Or we just lock the door and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a group that's sleeping together, it makes sense to take watches because you can like do 4-hour shifts with a bunch of people, but like you can't really do that if it's just 2 people, because then there's still like that 4-hour gap where.
Yeah.
I'll go to Gengar. Do you really want to take shifts?
No.
No,
But...
okay, that's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we should just lock the door and go to bed and hope for the best.
They can take shifts if they want. That's their rule.
What do you think, Ruby? Should we just lock the door and go to bed? I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bed that's farthest from the door.
Okay. Is there any windows or something we have to worry about? I want to make sure that that's locked too. Everything's locked.
No, neither of your rooms. You guys aren't. You guys have your rooms are actually stacked on top of each other. And the way the buildings nearby are laid out, there's no room for windows, so it's totally interior space.
Okay. Well, I think we should lock the door, and I'm gonna put a piece of furniture in front of the door too, maybe like a dresser or something.
There's a dresser, so you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that as well.
Matt, I'm gonna make a note of where their room is and where our room is.
Okay, if you'd like, I can actually just show you.
Hey, the bar!
Who's this guy?
So
you had this the whole time, and you didn't
Well-
show it to us.
I didn't want to get you guys to lay the land. So you guys have the middle room on the right side of each floor. You guys can scroll up and down and see them. So you guys take out
Like that room.
So you guys, Ruby and Dane, you have on the second story, and then Callus and Gengar, you have on the third story.
Perfect. That's
Okay,
Nice.
Cool.
So we are getting kind of late. We can end it. I know you want to cast your sleep spell, Robert. If you want, we can squeeze it in now, or if we want, we can just.
Well, if you just run the save, it's going to be the exact same dream I tried to do last time, but I wasn't able to do.
Okay, I do remember that one. So he has to save a what?
It's probably a 15. It is a
Wisdom saving throw?
yeah, wisdom save 15. I'm done.
You don't know, actually. I mean, there's no. Do you know?
Messenger can shape a dream. If you do so, can deliver on a failed save. It's a nightmare. So I guess I don't know, which is fine. I don't care either way. I'd wait till it'd be really late in the night, so I'd know I'd have a better chance of him
Yeah, I
sleeping.
mean, you guys have been up for quite a while, just with talking to Doug and Rodolfo, and you're performing and all that stuff.
I would try to wait as late as possible, and then it's just that bastard dream where there's a whole group of people pointing at him, including Kuba, and then they just keep saying bastard over and over again.
Okay.
I got a new dream target for me, Doug Bappenthwip.
Oh no!
Oh my god, you're gonna torture the child?
Oh my
Christ
god!
almighty.
You guys are
I
awful.
already know the dream I'm gonna give him too.
I'm the necromancer, and you guys are awful.
You guys don't know the dream I'm giving
Well,
this
this is
guy.
an evil campaign, in case you forgot.
You don't know the dream I'm giving Doug. When it comes up, you guys might be pissed at me, but that's fine. Okay, yep. I don't know if he saves or not, but that's the dream I'm gonna give him.
Okay.
You should give him a dream to go face his father one-on-one.
No, it's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
he delivers the
I
Eldersword
challenge you
to
to
his
an
dad,
acting
and his
cop.
dad just kills him.
Oh,
Wow.
hey.
Wow.
Yeah, that might convince him not to do that.
Yeah.
What have I done?
What have I
Anakin
done?
Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. What have I done?
Yeah.
Fulfilling your destiny.
I hope this dude hates sand.
All right, so you guys go to bed. So you guys take your respective rooms, and you had a good amount of journey. It's nice to finally be back in an actual bed. It's been a bit of a time for several of you.
Matt, am deceiving everyone. I am not going to go to bed. I'm going
Okay.
to go into my bed and look like I'm sleeping, and then when Gallus is asleep, I'm going to awaken.
Okay.
Oh no.
And I'd like to sneak out of the room.
Okay.
And
I guess give me a stealth check to see if you wake up Gengar. Gengar or Gallus, do you want to give me a perception check with disadvantage because you were asleep?
Yeah, there's no way I noticed this. Yeah, there's no way.
yeah.
You're able to sneak by with your soft gnomish feet, and you were able to exit out into the hallway. What would you like to do?
I would like to make my way to the nearest known graveyard.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
So
Wish
the
Paul's
nearest,
right, guys.
the nearest known graveyard is actually going to be on the opposite side of the river. So there is no bridge. Oh, there is a bridge. You'd have to go out the east road, kind of where you're already near there. You'd have to go out the east road, cross over the bridge that takes you. Technically, you're going to go into Tathamir.
Okay.
You've never been to before. So put the pin in that on the big map, and you have to kind of hug your way down to the south of the bank to where the graveyard is.
Is it better if I take my horse?
It would probably be better, but you'd have to go all the way back to where you came in to get your horse, and then back the other way again.
Whichever was faster.
It would probably be just to go to the stable, or not to the stable, to go out the east, past the stables on this side, and then go over the bridge and just by foot.
5 foot. Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay. So it takes you a little bit of time. There isn't particularly a heavy guard presence around this part. You get the sense that they're probably a bit busy doing other things.
Yeah.
In particular, but you are able to. It takes you like maybe we'll say 20 minutes to get over across the bridge, down to the bank, across the other side, and down towards the graveyard.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find. I don't know. I'll pick the. I'm being very particular about my corpses. I am looking for like good hardy skeletons. I don't want like zombies. I don't want like fresh corpses. But I don't want like dust either. I want like good solid bones to work with.
Okay, roll me an investigation check to see what you can find.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
Guys, we have a problem.
Oh yes.
So you do actually. So in the graveyard itself, all of these people are going to be buried, and so you're not going to be able to get a really good idea of what's there. You can kind of get an idea from the actual gravestones themselves, I guess, kind of how long these people have been here.
They've been dead. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And these people have been here a little bit longer, but there is like a mausoleum of sorts.
Okay.
But you do see someone there, kind of like one of the. You actually recognize one of those priests, priest-looking people with the robes from from when you were at the tavern.
Interesting.
So he's kind of doing something inside the mausoleum, tending to whatever he has to, kind of working with some rats, that kind of thing.
I don't want him to see me at all.
Okay.
So I will keep my distance.
Okay, so the mausoleum isn't particularly large. From outside, you can see him from the bit of candlelight and from the torches in the wall. You can see kind of what look like carved holes, kind of like this big or so around, where bodies are just inserted straight through. And you kind of get the idea that these are the poorer people. They can't quite buy their own plot. Not poor as in like really poor, because they probably can't afford any of this. But you do see people who probably aren't. They're kind of jammed in. It's a real estate kind of thing. They're all just like holes and holes. Some of them are empty, but you do see some what look like some zombie. Some like most people are wrapped, but some of them they're straight skeletons just shoved in. So you do see a couple. Yeah. But from this distance, you can't really tell the quality of them right now. But this guy is essentially in this space. It's not very large. He's kind of in the middle of this room.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pick a couple of skeletons of choice. I assume they're skeletons. Okay. And I'm going to cast Animate Dead on them. And I'm trying to figure out how many I can do. Because there's a feat that gives me an additional one when I do Animate Dead. I'm just going to do this at the 3rd level. I think it's just... Is it 1? Becomes a skeleton. Yeah, it's just 1 at the base level.
Another 2.
So, yeah, so I'm going to do 2 corpses.
Two total skeletons.
2 skeletons, yep.
Okay. So you do that. And immediately you see these skeletons try to like kind of wiggle their way out of the hole. They're almost all of them are head first. So it's a bit difficult to get kind of wiggle their way out. But you do see them attempt to get out, and I'm going to roll to see if this guy notices. It's a small room, so I'm just going to see. Perception is wisdom, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to roll me a sleight of hand? Well, I guess I'm going to roll stealth for the... Do you want to have them try to stealthily leave their hidey holes? You have control over them.
Yes.
Okay, so roll me a stealth check for... Okay, so you see him as he was working with his linen wraps. He does look up and he starts to see these skeletons, at least one skeleton moving in front of him. And he's going to kind of look kind of frantic, like look around like what's going on. And he sees the other one behind him also moving.
I'm going to cast blindness and deafness on him. Boop. I'm going to choose blind.
Like to do? Blindness?
Yep.
Okay. He has to make a Constitution saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. What does he have to beat?
He has to beat... Is it my spell DC?
I assume so. I think he's going to fail, but just let me know what your spell save DC is.
15.
You just barely are able to blind this man, who is now reaching his eyes. He's kind of grabbing around. He did know that the spell, that he did see skeletons coming out of the hidey holes that are definitely not supposed to be doing that.
As long as he didn't see me, I don't care.
He definitely didn't see you. He was definitely looking at those guys. What can he do here? These spells are not good.
Okay.
So what he's going to do is he only saw, he was kind of looking at one when you cast a blindness on it, on him. So he's going to try to cast Dispel Magic on where he believes the one was.
Oh.
So no. I'm going to give him, because it's a 4th level or higher, he's casting this at 3rd level because he doesn't really, that's just how he casts it. So for each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. So he is going to just do, what's his spellcasting ability? He's wisdom. So he's going to make a wisdom ability check. So he has to beat a 14. But since he technically he's blind when he's casting this, he doesn't actually know precisely where the thing is.
Mm-hmm. So he has to do it at disadvantage.
He's going to miss. So he has to beat a 14. So he has disadvantage on this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad for us.
I don't know.
So he rolled. Just tell me. He rolled a 13 and a 14. So he fails. His dispel magic does not work.
Yes.
So he is currently blind. He does not currently know where these skeletons are. I'm assuming these skeletons just keep going.
Yeah, so I want them to come out of their holes, and I want them to get out of the mausoleum. And I'll have them try to be stealthy too. I know that's hard because they're bones, but
okay. Do you want to roll a stealth check with the skeletons? Do you have the skeletons? I gave it to you, right? Or did I not give it to you? I believe you should have them in your. You should have them in your.
We're gonna have to replace Gengar with the kid now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you want him.
I got the cleric saying it's fine.
Okay, so what do you want? What I have their stat book thing now.
Yeah, roll me a stealth check.
Stealth. Okay. Stealth. That would be their dexterity. So, and they probably don't have any proficiency in that. So, it's a D20 plus 2. D20.
Okay, so
15.
Okay. So yeah, it seems like they're probably pretty stealthy. After a little bit of time passes, he is going to make another Constitution saving throw to see if he succeeds.
Is he? So are they out, and are they out of his line of sight?
I will say they're going a bit slow because they are trying to move stealthily. I mean, they're moving the best they can. They're skeletons. They aren't exactly inherently sneaky, but they're doing their best.
Okay.
Yeah. So he doesn't really know what's going on. So he's still blind, and he's just going to do whatever he can to try to get out of it. So he's going to make a Constitution saving throw to see if he beats it.
Okay.
He has to beat again. It's a 14, did you say? Or
he has to beat a 15.
15. He does not. So he is still blind. He is he doesn't really have an idea what he's doing. So he's.
If the skeletons at this point can make it out of the door without being stealthy and without running into him, I'll just have them book it out of there.
Okay, I will say it's a pretty small space, so I'm going to say it's going to be kind of tough. So I would actually say if they want to do that, they'd have to do another dexterity saving throw or dexterity check to see if they can get by him.
So they're still behind him. Okay.
Yeah, so they can either try to do it a little bit stealthily and have a bit more likelihood of doing it, or they can try to rush by.
I want them to remain stealthy until they have a clear exit out of the mausoleum.
Okay. So he's not entirely sure where they are. He's just going to kind of rush out. He's still blind. But he's going to rush out of the thing and kind of head towards where you came from, because it's the only way towards the city. He's going to make another Constitution saving throw. Where would you say you are in relation to the mausoleum's entrance?
Well, let's see. I had to be pretty close to them in order to animate them.
Right.
I had to be within 10 feet of them, so I'd be hugging a wall somewhere, I suppose.
Okay. So as he runs by you, he'll get kind of a good ways away from the mausoleum with his movement. So as he's running, he's going to cast another. He's going to try to break out of the blindness. But your skeletons are now, we'll say, outside of the mausoleum.
Okay, cool.
So you all are outside the mausoleum. He's running away from you guys towards where you came, but he's going to try to break out of the blindness again.
Okay, no longer care about him because I am going to cast Seeming.
Okay, so as you do that, he does break the blindness. He rolled a 16. So he is going to kind of quickly turn around and try to scan. It is late. It's probably about 11, 12 o'clock at this point. He's kind of like the graveyard shift. So he is going to try to take a peek at what you see. What happens when you do Seeming?
I change their physical appearance. So they now look like, I've created them to look like normal, like human beings. Maybe one's a half elf for diversity's sake, and the other one is a human. They're both bald, and they both have pale blue eyes.
Okay.
And that's how I will distinguish them.
Okay. So he got not very far away, but he is kind of really freaked out by this. Obviously, I mean, he deals with dead bodies, but he doesn't really see them come to life when he does it and go blind. But he's just going to try to take a quick peek. I'll give him disadvantage because it's kind of dark to see if he even sees you guys, really.
Okay.
So it'll be a perception with disadvantage. Do you want to roll? Are you trying to be stealthy at all, or are you just kind of standing there?
I'll attempt to be stealthy, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Oh no.
So bad at stealth.
He does kind of see the outline of something, these three kind of forms. One of them a fair bit smaller than the other ones. I'll actually say, yeah, so he kind of sees them, and you kind of hear this in this, like, weak voice. Hello, who is there?
I'll start walking towards him, and I will command the skeletons that look like people to follow me. And we'll just kind of walk towards him.
Okay, so as he sees you guys get closer, he is going to cast Light. He'll have like a pouch at his side that he just kind of has with his materials and all that stuff, and that's going to illuminate and shed bright light in a 20-foot radius. So at this point, all three of you are illuminated quite brightly.
Okay.
And he just says, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, Sorry, I know it's late at night, but I've come to pay respects to an old relative of mine. I saw you run out of the mausoleum there. It looked like you had a bit of a fright, did you?
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and roll deception?
Nat one.
Okay. You haven't happened to see anyone lurking around, doing anything weird around here, have you? Maybe I'm going completely mad, but I swear I just saw skeletons coming out of the mausoleum, and I went blind for a little while. I'm not sure what's going on right now.
Oh dear, that sounds terrifying.
I haven't seen anything. Have you two? And I command the skeletons to nod their heads, shake their heads no.
He looks at both of them, and they seem kind of weird, but he's going to be like, I'm going to suggest that you please be on your way. I would suggest going back to Danderfield and the town proper. I need to investigate the area. Please, I implore you.
Very well. Alright, we were just finishing up anyways. Thanks for maintaining the graveyard. I deeply respect your work.
Thank you.
And I'll walk back to the hotel.
Okay, he's going
The
to
tavern.
go back to the mausoleum and try to investigate what's going on. But in the meantime, you are able to, with your two pals, are they coming in with you?
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay.
So what I want to command the skeletons to do is to guard, kind of patrol the hallways all night long, and make sure that no one enters our doorways, our bedroom doors.
Okay. All right.
and I will sneak back into bed.
That sounds good. And then you're gonna go to bed.
Yep.
So you're gonna have. So how are they patrolling? You're gonna have one on each floor, just go back up and down the hallway.
Yeah. Basically.
All right. Sounds good. And with that, we will call it in to this episode.
Jesus Christ.
You guys take your naps, and we'll find out what happens with those skeletons in the morning.
Do I get to roll my 3d6 psychic damage, by the way?
I did, but if you want to,
No,
you
you did. That's fine. I don't care if you did. I just wondered if the psychic damage went through. All right, that was fantastic. Holy shit!
That's a good time.
Oh my god. We
Your
got
guys' faces is just like, cannot believe he's doing this.
I'm like, as soon as I got to like 11 o'clock or something, I'm like, all right, sweet, let's go to bed. And you're just like, hold on now. Oh god.
Oh, I deeply respect your work, Mr. Graveyard Worker.
Well, he kind of does in a sense. He keeps the corpses nice and clean for my usage.
We're all fucked up a little bit, except for Ruby, I feel like.
No, it's always the quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, she's gonna drop something on us. She's gonna be like, just kill all of them, it's fine. And we're gonna do this, like, what?